The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel-Good Friday, June 14th, 2024. This program starts right now.
Sports!
Our Awesome in Sports have two final series happening, and they both might be sweeps.
Oh, no.
We might not even see a Game 5 in two of the biggest leagues on Earth's finals best-of-7 series is because last night the Florida Panthers flew 8 hours to Edmonton, Canada to take on the Oilers in their barn, a loud barn, a packed barn, and they demoralized Edmonton and the entire country of Canada for a bit. Then Edmonton would get back into it. It ended up being a 4-3 game, which was electrifying, was thrilling, but the Panthers are now up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals, 1 year removed from losing in the Stanley Cup Finals. Kachuk and the boys are obviously running wild. Bob is stopping everything that he sees, and this team is seemingly already hoisting Lordo down in South Florida for another incredibly hot parade for the people of Sunrise, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, which I think Davie kind of encompasses all of that.
Sure.
Hollywood, Miami. That's hockey town now.
It is hockey truly.
They go into Edmonton and just absolutely demoralize them. If you're watching the game, that second period got real wild real quick for the Florida Panthers. It goes from being close game to 3-1 to everybody in Canada saying, what the hell just happened? Then it'll go all the way to 4-1, then 4-2, then 4-3. Wait a minute, is Edmonton about to make the comeback? No, they inevitably fall short. And the Florida Panthers get the big-time dub. And tonight, the Boston Celtics are just one win away from sweeping the NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks. Now, it depends on the sports book, but a couple of them have the Boston Celtics as underdogs. Remember, up 3-0 in the series, have already won in Dallas with or without Porzingis. They have beaten the Mavericks and every other team that they have played. They are currently on an 11-game win streak in the playoffs. They are underdogs at ESPN Bet and at DraftKings. You can find them as the favorites at a couple others. This is a coin toss in the sportsbook's eyes pretty much, but they have a chance to cement their legacy as champions, as opposed to a team that has just been great all year. Which takes me to the toxic table. At Ty Schmidt, you look great today.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, Father's Day on the precipice, so I figured why not.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day to you as well.
Okay, and happy Father's Day to one half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys.
Happy Father's Day,
Happy Father's Day, Tony.
Oh, thank you. Happy Father's Day
Day
to you. And you know what? Happy Father's Day to you, Connor.
Wow.
Because on this particular day, your city that you're a fan of is now the father of the most amount of banners in the history of the NBA. Because you guys have already won the NBA Finals. And I see what you're doing here. With the shirt, you're saying, Jay Tatum.
Jay Tatum. See what you're doing too. But
PK Subban will be here in the second hour. Cannot wait to talk to him. So let's give him a little bright light, because obviously the only thing that's been conversated about him is he playing good enough? Yeah, he is. He's a beast alongside Brown. But what you're doing with that hat, are you wanting them to lose tonight? You want Boston to get flipped on their damn head so that this thing can be won in Boston? What's going on with the hat?
No. The hat is the reverse jinx of what you guys are doing. See, I see what you're, most titles in the NBA history now.
Yeah, you
guys already won.
Exactly.
Season 3. Exactly.
Season 3. That's Celtics in 3, not season 3 of a show that you like to watch.
Season 3 would be cool, though, of the Celtics if they win this championship and then 2 more. But also, it was more so just a reverse. You know, if you guys are going to do this and be assholes the whole entire time, both yesterday and now today, and possibly Monday, possibly Wednesday. Who knows what's going to happen? But no, I was kind of battling your guys' reverse jinx with my own little reverse jinx being this hat, and I feel very good about it. Honestly.
That's a sweet-looking hat.
Hey, Gumps got it for me. Great gift from Gumps. Gumps knows his gear.
Hey, good work on that, Gumps. Because when you're driving in front of an ambulance, now if they have the lights on, get out of the way.
That's right. Always.
But if they don't have the lights on, you look in the rearview mirror, guess what you see? Ambulance.
Yeah.
But when you go up to it, it's backwards. That one's upside down.
Yeah, both.
And backwards.
Yeah, double reverse.
That one's a real, that's a real conundrum there trying to, if I want to see that, you got to flip yourself upside down.
And then you still can't even see it when you flip yourself upside down. See, it's kind of like you see it now,
An
boys?
anagram?
No, yeah, it's kind of a little bit, I don't know what an anagram is per se, but no, it's not an anagram. It is just the name Boston, and the reason it is flipped is because I'm flipping you guys on the series.
Okay, yeah, well, you better hope this series doesn't flip. I'll tell you that. Because you'd be the first team ever to go on to be up 3-0 and then lose a series in the NBA playoffs, which is obviously a wild stat, but why not? Now, Tom, let's talk about how some books have the Celtics as dogs. Some books have them as favorites. ESPN Bet has them as dogs. You can get 1.5 with the Celtics right now on ESPN Bet. So why is that the case? That's because they don't know the bets that they're getting in. Why do you think that some places have it one way, some places have it the other way? And does this just mean inevitably nobody has a clue what the hell's going to happen?
Yeah, when you're looking at the plus 1.5, minus 1.5, like I don't know why it's just not -1, or they just don't want pushes, so that's why they go with the half there. When the money line is -110, which is basically telling you that it is a coin flip at that book. Now, DraftKings and FanDuel both had it at -1. Now, FanDuel was -1 for Celtics being the favorite. DraftKings was -1 for the Mavericks being the favorite. Now, you could say that they're just trying to make one team a dog so that people will bet on that team, whether they have future liability for a team, so they're trying to get more money in on that team or against that team to cover their liabilities. But when it's this close, like -110,
They've won 11 straight, that one team.
Oh, yeah.
That one team has won 11 straight. And obviously, I guess it could be a 1-point game, so the half would matter in that whole thing. But this is whoever you like to win the game. And for me, it's going to be tough to pick the team that didn't win 11 straight in the playoffs right
Correct.
now.
Yeah, for sure.
That is, they are on a bit of a tear, and they've had to battle through a lot of adversity through those 11 games. They've been down double digits, way double digits. They've been up double digits that's come back down. Seems like anything that gets thrown the Boston Celtics way, they handle with some sort of maturity, mental toughness, and a skill level that is dominant over everybody they play. So congrats to the Celtics winning another one. All right, let's talk about some NFL news, shall we? Trevor Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen, formerly of Clemson, now of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the highest paid quarterback per year in the history of the NFL. 5-year, $275 million American dollars down in Florida with no state income tax, with $200 million practically guaranteed and $142 million guaranteed at signing. Congrats to Trevor Lawrence.
Hey.
I will say you can find some stats, obviously, that'll make Trevor Lawrence look very good. You can find some stats that'll make Trevor Lawrence look very bad. But all the Jacksonville Jaguars are saying is we think we can win with Trevor, and if we don't have Trevor, we won't be able to win. We don't want to have to go down that road of trying to find out who our next quarterback is after giving up on a guy that we drafted number 1 overall. We had the future in, and we've seen his development. Now, there was one year where he was being coached by a college coach Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's right.
Did not work out at all in the NFL. College coach Hall of Famer was coaching him. They probably saw that up close in person and said, listen, his development for 1 year, maybe it's a little bit different. But you got old Peterson in the building, former quarterback, a Super Bowl winner, now as the head coach. You got the offense rolling. If he can stay healthy, which last year they were rolling until he got hurt. A couple different times he got hurt. I think he had a knee. I think there was a concussion. I think there was some ankle. There was a lot of shit that took place in his game, obviously dropped afterwards. But what he was doing before then was like, okay, this is the Trevor Lawrence that we had been told about since he was a freshman in high school. This was supposed to be the next one. There's photos of him coming out from high school where if you don't look at the main character of the photo and you look around, it's like, feels like this guy has some grit, some charm
for sure.
to him. And congrats to him on getting the most money of all time. Now, as an Indianapolis Colt fan, I am thankful they spent $275 million at quarterback position, okay? Because no matter how big the salary cap gets, which it's certainly going to only continue to go up and to the right is what the NFL is, that is a high percentage per year being contributed to one position. Now, can Trevor Lawrence win these games without having to pay anybody else? They're going to find out. They believe that's the case, and good for him. Now, Dak Prescott sees this, and he gets probably pretty jacked up. If I had to guess. I would assume Tua Tagovailoa, who obviously had an incredible run last year and the year before as the as the quarterback. He has eyes on this. Jordan Love, who's allegedly going to have a deal done before the season starts, has eyes on this. He's already had more postseason success than Trevor Lawrence has ever thought. And he's only played a couple years. So this is like a new market, new precedent. Deshaun Watson still has the highest guarantee of $230 million. Because practical guarantee, I don't. Then it's not a guarantee.
Like the injury guarantee? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and they say it's practical guarantee. Like Deshaun Watson's the only one. Like his actual guarantee at sign, $230 million. His practical guarantee, $230 million. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Practical guarantee here is like $80 million more. $70 million more for Joe Burrow. It's like that's a big difference of practical. And how does the word practical and guarantee? How are they allowed to be next to each other? I don't know definitions, but guarantee is like
it's guaranteed.
So then there's a practical guarantee. I feel like that's maybe a babyface spin on somehow that they're potentially not going to pay the people all their money, but they're saying practically it'll show up. It's like that's an interesting usage of words that I didn't know you were allowed to put next to each other, but it's a lot of money. They should be pumped, and Deshaun Watson is still the one that has the most that he's going to get guaranteed, no matter how terrible he does, no matter how many games he plays, and no matter what happens with the Cleveland Browns.
It seems like practical guarantee is the new thing they do now, since we kind of realized all the bullshit behind, like, hey, the actual contracts. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but it is. It's kind of contractual mumbo jumbo, if we're being completely honest. Because when we started realizing, all these guys would get these contracts, say 4 years, $200 million, and then we'd find out what they're actually making. It's like, okay, well, that's
$82 million.
Yeah, $82 million guaranteed.
If they cure COVID, which I don't know if it's
they did already.
Well, Trent Dilfer did.
Oh yeah,
that the spray. Spray.
Had that spray.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see.
He should have got $1 bazillion.
He should have.
That spray. He just sprayed it down. COVID's dead here. Hang the sign.
Loves ball too much.
COVID don't live here.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
come? Because of the spray. Those were wild times.
That was really cool.
To make money. He did it to
but
play ball.
In some of those contracts, hey man, he just wants the boys to play football.
Yeah, exactly.
They need football. You're what Tom Brady said.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of these deals for a long time, as they were being reported by actual journalists,
Oh yeah.
People that don't get things wrong. They're being reported, actual.
Of course.
Yep.
And thank God for them. Thank
Hell yeah.
God.
That's right.
For them. But what was being reported is like a deal that was never going to be actually seen to fruition. It was like, okay, if you can walk on water to get the last $100 million, you can. Okay, we're going to put it right at the end.
Yep.
All you got to do is get 20 yards. You walk right across the top of this water. It's been done before, right?
Yeah, right.
It's been done before. Somebody's done it.
Documented.
That's another $200 million. If you can't do that, it's obviously not a $300 million deal. It's actually only a $100 million deal. That was shit that was being said. That was actually happening in contracts. And who was benefiting from that? Well, I guess agents would benefit from that because they were negotiating these deals that were absurd.
Right.
Like, I just negotiated hundreds of millions of dollars in contract. It's actually worth $50 million. Okay, so you didn't actually. Insiders were obviously, and news was benefiting from this. The NFL was benefiting from this because they were paying their players so much.
Business is booming.
So much money is being paid out to these guys. The people that really lost, now granted they won because they did make money, so they're in no position to complain. But the players, that money that they're never getting is announced publicly that they are getting.
Right.
So, family, friends, charitable foundations that are around you, hometown community.
Yep.
Everybody's just like, hey. And it's like, that's not real. It does feel like we're getting to a time where shit's getting a little bit more real in the announcements. And I think the reason why it's getting that way is because the numbers are so big. So big right now that they don't have to kind of, kind of make up or kind of rig the numbers because of how big they are. $275 million is the going rate for a quarterback right now?
Sir.
Yeah. Who hasn't won a playoff game?
That is so much money. Like Dak Prescott.
He's got one.
Do not sign any deal. Chargers.
That's right.
Four picks in the first half, comes back.
Exactly.
It's that mental time. He's great. Yeah,
right.
That guy is a dog. He's won there. But if you're Dak Prescott, if you're able to get to free agency, like, and you're Dak,
Yeah, do it.
100%.
$300 million guarantee is like a conversation because all you need is 2 people interested, let alone if there's 4 or 5. Who knows how many there will be. Allegedly for Deshaun, whenever he was asking to be released by the Houston Texans before everything that happened, he was asking to be released. There was like 4 teams involved. There was the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, I think, and the Browns. Now, every other team was kind of asking, but those teams were like, allegedly. Now, what do we know? What's real? What isn't real? Shout out to the journalists always getting it right, not lying about anything. Dak's market would be gigantic.
For sure.
All you need is 1 billionaire or 2 billionaires or 3 billionaires to be sick of losing. Like, think about the Giants.
Yeah.
Like, if they've already paid a shit ton of money to a quarterback, it's not working. They have another down year. You don't think O'Mara, who's already been on the record of saying, I'm sick of telling my friends that we suck and why we suck. Like, that is the actual decision maker, too, at the end of the day. If you're going to pay somebody $300 million, you need a couple of, what about the Raiders? What if the Raiders have everything going and they for some reason can't figure out the quarter? I hope they can. I'm not saying they can't. But let's say you think Mark Davis is just going to continue to sit back? No.
No way.
They already done money in a Jimmy G. I mean, they will. Dak Prescott will just be sitting there. And what are the Cowboys going to do?
Yeah.
There is oh my God.
If Stafford retires and in LA, they just, like the Chargers are starting to kind of, it's like you don't think Dak in LA, they wouldn't offer him, a boatload of money.
$175 million. And you mentioned this earlier as a part of another eye-opening reason for it. And we're happy for him. This is just a surprise.
Yeah.
This is a surprise that Trevor Lawrence got this big of a contract. Shout out to his agent. I assume it's Mulligata. I have no idea. I have no idea. But Florida, no state income tax. So normally, that is brought into the conversation because you're not losing out on an extra 10% or 8% or whatever the hell the state income tax is. Florida doesn't have it. So this dude's got like one of the best tax situations in the country and a $275 million contract in a team. The Houston Texans run the AFC South.
Bingo.
So it's like, it's a fascinating. If I'm Dak Prescott, and they're showing stats. They're showing Dak Prescott stats. Of how many games?
50. Last 50 games.
Last 50 games. Putting him next to Patrick Mahomes' stats. And once again, we are in the camp. Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick, we love you.
The difference there.
Yeah, their teams are winning, and who are they playing against and what style, how are they going about doing it? Yeah, there's so many things that contribute to these particular stats. But there's billionaires that are going to see these stats and they're going to say, Dak's available?
Yep.
And what's the going rate? Let's go ahead and do that. He's about to get Dak's about, and he knows it.
Yes.
I assume he knows.
Yeah.
Kirk, $180 million.
Yep.
130 guaranteed. Trevor Lawrence, 275 with 142 guaranteed or whatever. It's like, holy shit, this money's going through the roof. Good for them.
Well, like, at what point, too, is it like, hey, instead of doing a 275 with 100-something guaranteed and your cap hit is something every single year, like, at what point do teams just say, like, hey, a 5-year, $200 million contract that is $190 million guaranteed, wouldn't that be cheaper than what they would be going for with the 55 per year?
The 230 million thing is obviously in a part of the conversation, 230 million conversation.
In that bills, but it gives you a couple years.
Yeah, and Kirk did that deal with the Vikings. That was like, I think there was somebody else that offered him, maybe the Jets offered him more, but it was like the guarantee, so you take less to make it a guarantee.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess situation's a situation. Nonetheless, they're all getting broken off. Joining us now in a different league, in a sport that is about to have just a sweep in the finals.
Yeah.
It's not true.
I know.
Not
Depressing.
Ladies and gentlemen, 11-year NBA vet, future coach, Austin Rivers. Basketball, 4 games, it's over.
Really?
What the hell? What the hell's going on, Austin?
Man, oh man, this has been it's been tough to watch. Surprising, even. I thought Dallas would actually put up a fight, considering how hot Luka and Kyrie were as a duo going into this series. It's been crazy to watch.
Yeah. So is it just that the Celtics are the best? Like, I try to listen to people that are smart at basketball, and they say Celtics are just the most talented team, the best team. Is that because they have the best players? Is it because they have the best, discipline, the best plays? What does that mean whenever people say that they're just the best team? Because obviously we're watching it, but I'll look down, and it feels like the Mavericks are playing good. And I'll look at the score.
Yep.
Celtics are still up 8 somehow. It's like, what are we witnessing from the Celtics team that makes them so good for somebody that maybe doesn't know all the inside bullshit?
Yeah, well, I mean, for one, they're a team that is a high-level team on both sides of the ball. They defend just about as good as anybody in the NBA, not to mention they're a high-powered offense. And then when it comes down to it, Pat, honestly, they're just a better team in terms of depth. If we take the top 7 players in this series, 5 of them would be Boston guys. You know what I mean? Their role players, I don't even like to call them role players. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew Holiday is considered a role player for the Celtics, but like he's playing on Team USA this summer. Like they have really good players, man. Like he has Derek White, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Al Horford. They're a really talented team. They're very well coached. Mazzulla's a guy that I think is underrated in terms of just how much of a brainiac he really is. There's a reason why they took him from behind the bench and put him on the front of the bench just like that, because I think they knew what they had. And right now they are locked in. They've heard the noise of all of us talk about them not being able to get over the hump. They've heard the noise of them saying that they've underachieved. And last year they lost to Miami. Remember, they got bumped out, which was very surprising. So I think all of these things collectively are why we're seeing the Celtics in just top form right now.
I enjoy watching them. Now, obviously, when they beat the Pacers, it wasn't fantastic, but they never seemed to panic. Like there was always a sense of like maturity and like control and patience and everything. They're like this older group, but they're all young, right? Austin, this is potentially possible for like the next 4 or 5 years together, this team.
That's the scary thing is like this team's not going anywhere. Yeah. They're going to be right back here next year. Jason Tatum's eligible to sign a $315 million deal this summer, a 5-year deal, all guaranteed.
Trevor Lawrence just signed for $275, and we're so jacked up.
Yeah,
$315.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's all guaranteed.
All guaranteed.
Full.
Yeah,
and it's worth it.
Massachusetts taxes, though, crazy.
Yeah, they're not.
they're a little high. They're not Florida. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
Trevor's sitting over there with zeros. Yeah, zero income tax here in Florida. So that's nice. But yeah, the Celtics are loaded, and they're young, and they're not going anywhere. And the most impressive thing is Tatum and Brown have come together as like a duo. They didn't let all this talk, even Jason Kidd's comments, all these comments of Jaylen Brown being better and Tatum's not this or that, or you can see Tatum's not forcing anything. He's playing the right way. He's making passes. He knows his team's loaded. It's not even about him proving anything. They're just here to win games and win a ring. And he said that in many of his press conferences. He's like, when I scored a lot and we lost, y'all called me a loser. And now I'm not scoring enough, but we're winning, and now I'm not scoring enough. He's like, so what do you want from me? So I love where Boston's at. I love where their 2 leaders are at. Jaylen Brown's been fantastic. He'll probably win Finals MVP. So we'll see.
Tatum said we'll win, and then everybody's going to ask us about what's going to happen next year, so we'll have to do it again or whatever. It's like they've embodied that everybody's against us, that bunker mentality. I assume Joe Mazzulla has helped with that because somebody told a story that when he won Coach of the Month or whatever, and somebody congratulated him, like, hey, congrats on winning Coach of the Month, and he said, nobody cares, and they just walked away. It's like that's a tough mentality and mindset to live with on a daily basis. But boy, it makes for a great coach.
Yes,
never get content. Ever get content. Connor's got a question for you, Austin.
Yeah, Austin, a lot of, I saw some sports shows this morning kind of talk about, like, does this finals mean more to Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or Joe Mazzulla? Which, I would like to hear what you think about that. But also just looking at the series from a whole, Luka was the story after Game 3, and you mentioned how, Tatum scored 31. No one really gives a shit because instead of, harping on that, they're harping on the other side again with Luka. How can guys like Luka get better on defense? Like, is there a way, and obviously this is going to happen overnight, but like in the offseason, there were highlights of Drew Holiday and he's working on closeouts and blocking shots and things of that nature. But how can that happen? Because clearly Luka is good enough to take teams to the finals. Obviously, he did it this year, a few years ago in the bubble, and then against the Suns a couple years ago as well when they were down 3-1. Like, he's good enough, but how does that last aspect of the game kind of come together for him? And also on the other side of the ball with the Celtics, has it always been the strategy against the Mavs every year, like, hey, just go at Luka because he's not going to be able to, do what he does on offense and defense the entire game?
Yeah, those comments by Brian Wendy were fair. In terms of the aspect of him saying, Luka can't win a championship like this, I don't agree with that because they're in the finals. They're 4 wins away from winning a ring. So clearly what he does, warrants winning. Now, to get over that hump and be a guy who's winning rings and multiple rings and being a champion, he does have to improve his defense. He gets targeted all game. I'm talking about every second he's on the floor, they're trying to get him involved. And then it's like, if you're not good on the ball, then you got to at least be half decent off the ball. And he's not a good off the ball defender either. He gets lost. He gives up on plays. It's like he saves all of his energy just for that offense. which can be hard when your best player is doing that. It kind of starts at the top. You see Jaylen Brown and Tatum play on both sides of the ball, man. You got to do that. All the greatest players do, especially in the finals, right?
Yeah.
And I understand Luka has a lot on his shoulders, more than Jaylen Brown and Tatum do, because they got a lot of help around them. Luka has the amount of pressure on his shoulders every night to play at such a high level just for his team to be competitive. It's probably more than anybody else in the NBA other than Nikola. So I don't expect him to be a great defender, but I had a story. When I played for the Clippers, I played with a teammate, Jamal Crawford. He was, reigning sixth man of the year 3 times in a row. We brought him in the game just to do one thing, and that's to get buckets, right? And that's what he did. He wasn't a good defender, but he could score. And I remember one time we were having a game and he wasn't playing great defense, and my father called a timeout, and we're in the huddle, and he looks at Jamal and he goes, "Jamal, I'm not asking you to be a great defender. I'm just asking you to try." And he looks at him and he goes, "I got you." Because he even knew. He's like, "All right, I know I could do a little bit more. I could put a little bit more energy towards this." I don't know if it's a conditioning thing with Luka. I don't know if it's something that he just has to buy into and want. There's a little bit of vulnerability there getting targeted like that. You kind of you lose confidence when everyone's trying to go at you. He needs to work out in the summer, whether it's lateral movements on the beach, doing slides, doing one-on-one drills where he's only on defense. And then a lot of it's like he just has to want that. And I'm not questioning his want because we all know Luka's a star. But, it could be a lot of those different things. He has to improve slowly. He'll never be a great defender. We just need him to try a little bit more and do something. We saw Steph Curry do it. Steph Curry used to be a bad defender. All he did is get better every year to the point where, he's not a great defender, but he's not a liability now. He can play some defense. He's got good hands. So, we've seen this with our stars. They picked on Tatum a long time, too. And now look where he's at. So, yeah.
I think Jamal Crawford brought that up when he was talking to us a couple weeks ago, actually. He said defense wasn't really my thing because we're talking about Milwaukee at the time.
Yep.
I think he wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
The effort, though, is that the reason why the Celtics defense is so good? Is just because max effort from everybody, and that's buy-in? Is that what that is? And it's also conditioning, obviously. You talk about Luka, and a couple people have brought up his conditioning. It's like, we're late in the year now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the NBA Finals. This is a lot. That's why what LeBron was able to do for 12, 13 years straight. Yep. It's like the most amount of basketball, and you have all eyes on you every night, too. So it's like you have to perform 82, then you got to go through best of 7 series, 3 or 4 of them to get to the finals. It's like a lot of basketball. Is that something that Luka can – obviously he can work on it, but that seems to be a threat that a lot of people are saying about Luka. Conditioning. Go ahead.
And it's weird because he plays so much basketball, Pat. He's going to play in the national team again this summer. He plays year-round because as soon as he gets done with the NBA, he's always going back home and playing for his national team. So, he's always playing. So I don't know if it's a conditioning thing. I know his body looks like he's out of shape, but they say the same thing about Nikola, man. Those guys aren't out of shape. I think their just body looks like that. I think there's been seasons where Luka's come into camp out of shape, but like you said, he's in the finals. He's got to be in shape.
Austin, body looks like what? What does it look like, buddy?
He doesn't have a shredded for instance, we look at LeBron or Jaylen Brown or Tatum, they're 6'8" and lanky and long and wiry and very muscular. Where Luka's a little bit more a bigger, heavier set body, but it works for him. It's part of his game. You know what I mean?
You're saying he's a fat white guy.
I see what you're doing.
I didn't do it. That's what you said.
Won't get me.
We are sitting right here. We all heard it.
I wouldn't even say that. I'm a Celtics fan.
Yeah, obviously you wouldn't. What a nice guy this is. No, but that is what all the basketball people are saying. They're saying they keep bringing
it's weird
about Luka. Yeah, I don't know. And if it is the case,
I don't think it's conditioning.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's conditioning. I don't think it's a thing where he's not in shape at this point. He's in the finals. He's in shape. He's definitely banged up.
Yeah, I think he's hurt, and there's a lot of eyes every night. And he has the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. And you're running back and forth. And JaVale McGee was awesome on the show. He said, everybody knows that, you have some guys that are going to be like that. You're going to get, like you said, Jamal Crawford.
Yep.
There's a lot of people who are we're going to save energy on this side of the court so that I can be a productive member of the team on that end of the court. And that helps the team. That makes the team better. I guess that is a style, but in the finals, it just can't take place. I'm interested to see what he does.
There's a fine line. There's a fine line between not, saving all your energy for offense and just not playing any defense. You can't hide versus Boston. They're too good. Every player on the floor can score. So that's just not going to work versus a high level team like Boston. He's got to defend a little bit.
Tatum's going to go for. Luka's going to go for 50 tonight after everything and everything. They had him sit down.
I would love it.
He sat down. He didn't have to. He got to sit down with Malika, and he did Yeah, I apologize to my team. Like a whole
Same face deal.
It was like a full-on in the middle of a series. You're down 3-0.
I messed up.
Doing
Yeah.
But like that I think for some people, and I don't know Luka well enough, that type of shit is something that like he'll come out and go bananas tonight. There's a chance.
Yeah, averages the most points in elimination games in the history of the NBA, 35.
Okay, so and he's got bombs being dropped. It's fat white guy, Austin Rivers.
Yeah, exactly. He hears it.
Oh, Jesus. Don't start, please.
Picture of Austin.
I'm not, Luka, I'm with you. I'm on your side, brothers. Don't let Pat come between us.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
I'm driving a wedge from Classic Media. Ty has a question for you, Austin.
Austin, speaking of Luka, obviously another big story, and we talked to JaVale McGee about this yesterday. His incessant bitching to the referees. Obviously, like star players, they kind of just do that because, JaVale said, like, hey, listen, those are the only guys that refs are going to listen to, so that's kind of the way it goes. Everyone does it. And obviously, it's spotlighted a little bit more when they get beat. But do you think he'll be officiated any differently tonight, given all the stuff that happened? I'm not saying the league office would say anything to these guys, but I'm sure they understand too. Like, hey, we don't want one of the faces of the NBA fouling out with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a potential elimination game. Like, will anything go into that, or do you think it'll be business as usual with the officiating towards Luka?
They'll definitely officiate him a little bit differently tonight. I think in terms of giving him a little bit more freedom and giving him a little bit more, leeway on defense in terms of not calling fouls, I think they'll give him that. But if we're talking letting him complain like he did last game, they're going to tee him up because he was going crazy last game. I mean, it was every single play down. He was wearing these guys out. I heard from people who were there at the game or even guys on the bench. They're like, yo, it got to the point where like, how has he not been even teed up once? So I would imagine they're going to be sensitive with the language from Luka tonight. But in terms of the foul calls, I think they're going to let him play. Obviously, they want Luka to play. They want this series going as long as possible. It's good for the NBA. It's good for the ratings. It's good for money. It's good for everything, right? We want Dallas to win. The series so far, 3-0, we don't want to see that in the finals. We want a bloodbath. By the way, if we got robbed of a good finals when Denver lost. When Denver dropped the soap, when Denver lost to Minnesota, we got robbed of a great finals, man.
Drop the ball, yeah. They dropped the ball, yeah.
But Ann Edwards is Michael Jordan. What do you mean? That was the whole point.
No, it was the West.
Yeah, well, I know, but it's
the West, dude. I was being told all year that the West is going to just wipe the floor. Like the West is and then the East, other than Boston, everybody sucks. It's like, does everybody suck? Maybe Boston's the only good team. Is Boston? Is Boston the only good? Is that a potential reason?
But Denver plays them well. Denver, it's all about matchups. Denver matched up horrifically with Minnesota, but they would have matched up a lot better with a team like Boston. I promise you. Look at their regular season games. Man. They were unbelievable. They're like some of the best regular season games we had this year was the Denver-Boston games. I'm telling you.
I wish we would have seen it. Instead we got a potential sweep in the NBA.
50 ball tonight. 50 ball. It's a good call, Pat. Put it on the line.
What, for Luka?
Yeah, 40 or more.
Could you imagine?
For sure.
He goes bananas today.
Oh, yeah, 6 threes.
And then they win, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a
Brand
minute.
new series.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Is momentum back in Dallas's favor as they travel back to Boston? And we know what Kyrie and Luka are going to do backs against the wall in front of the entire city of Boston. Oh, on the little leprechaun.
Well, his name is Lucky, okay? It's not a little leprechaun.
It is a little ass leprechaun.
No, his name is Leprechauns are small. It's just a normal-sized leprechaun, and his name is Lucky. All right?
Easy.
You son of a bitch.
Don't stand on
all right?
Lucky.
Yeah, what happened when Kyrie disrespected?
That's why I brought it up. That's why I brought it up.
0-13 since he stomped on Lucky. That's what happens.
Well,
you don't
also,
want to disrespect him.
I also saw, sorry, Lucky. I mean,
Thank
no
you. He accepts your apology.
Okay, I hope so. I'm sure others won't. But Dallas, I don't think, has won since they took that beer out of Luka's hand.
No.
Also true.
I saw that
That's
on the
a crazy stat.
I don't know if it's real. I saw it on the internet. He had a beer. He was trying to enjoy his life. Boom. It was like drug deal quickness with the hand.
Yep. Yeah.
Out.
He needs a beer.
Casual.
I didn't like that.
Me neither.
I didn't like
with
that.
his pops too.
Let a man enjoy a beer. He's not drinking he's not taking a shot or anything. He's having just a cold come on, man.
All right, I'll see.
I do love Michael Finley, but
He was parched.
Look at Luka too. Luka was
pointing at on the way out. That's what happened here.
My dad flew all the way here.
Go back to
the man.
He literally points at it. You want to sip? Is that
what's going on?
You're taking
the way he looked at him after he took it from him.
Points,
what are you doing?
What are we? He just doesn't.
Can I get it back?
It's my ice cold pop.
Oh, what the fuck?
That might be.
I mean, Luke can come to Boston if he's not happy.
The basketball gods are not pumped about that.
No.
What did you call him? What did you call Luka earlier in this conversation? You said
I don't remember what y'all call him, but
Fat, doughy
I
white
remember
guy.
when
Let that fat European have a beer.
I believe that.
Never
that's
take
what
a
you
pint
said.
away from a man.
Yeah, why would you?
just don't.
I don't know
that.
what happened there.
In a celebration,
I don't know what happened.
nonetheless.
They just won. Yeah, that was a good.
Foreigners, they can drink at a different level.
Foreigners?
It is, yes, like European players.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What are you guys
Holy
walking in the
shit.
locker room? We got 4 foreigners around here.
Too many foreigners.
Denver, we had like 4 foreign players on our team. Yeah, they're foreign players, European.
Oh,
Don't do that. We're not.
Sorry, in our sport.
Boy, you guys. Oh my goodness.
Austin,
Odell Beckham with the reach.
No.
It is crazy. Yes, way back. Way back.
we're trying.
Come on
dude.
now.
Hey, we're trying to bring you down to our level.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
How about this? Why don't you guys go out to a bar with Nikola Jokic and his 2 brothers and see how much you can keep up with them?
The answer is no. I saw
just
that.
want to see it.
If we're going out with them, we're starting fights, brother.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a
Talking
drinking thing. The only time I've seen the Jokic brothers is when Miami game, I think a couple years ago, when they handled business, and then there was another fight almost happened. They showed up, and immediately it ended. Yeah.
Oh, remember when one of the Jokic brothers punched that guy in the stands, I believe, in the playoffs
It was this year, yeah.
That guy just ate it.
Yeah,
Dogs.
he popped somebody.
And now the ending. Here it is. Here it is. What?
Bang.
What?
Oh,
Change the guy's
How about the guy
haircut.
going? Wait,
It's huge.
Is that the biggest human of all time? That guy down.
That's the thing. They're both 6'11", but they're like, obviously they're not basketball players, so they're not in shape. So those guys actually are like beefy 6'10" guys. Like they're
He's got the iron jaw.
Is that Chris Moutinho?
Is that the guy from UFC that took 1,000 punches to the face from Sugar Sean?
Yeah.
Did you see that guy eat that punch right there? And then he looked back at him and turned around and started watching it again.
Couldn't any harder, you
half
little
right.
bitch? Is that what he said back?
Punch
No,
this
he
guy.
did eat that.
And then what? Okay.
I'm just gonna watch.
Let me go get a hot dog.
Keep playing it. Keep playing it. All right, I'm gonna watch the game.
Sit down.
Anyways, the NBA is going to be a sweep in the finals. NHL is as well.
Don't say that.
It's not
Don't
going to
say
happen.
that. We need something, guys. We need something.
They're going to get one tonight.
Something.
They're going to get one tonight. Luka,
I got faith too.
Luka's going to answer. He will. He always answers the bell when his back's against the
No, the Celtics have already won the championship.
3.
Celtics
So
have 3.
I don't get it because I thought you wanted them to win at home. I thought you wanted them to
I
go
do
back home.
want them to win at home. But they already won. It's a shame.
They haven't already won yet.
Yeah, they did right down there.
I mean, I want them to win on the road because, we lost.
What's the offseason look like, Austin? What happens next? We got free agency. Trae Young's going to move, right? That's the big question.
That's one of the questions for sure. I guess, I remember I heard you guys touch upon it one episode. This might be the least boring summer we've had due to the Olympics. So we got that next. Thank God. Because it's a weird time of the year after this. We start trying to search on the media side for something to talk about.
Hold on. We got
the Olympics
something.
coming up.
We got something. Tone's got a question for you.
Yeah, Austin, you played with the guy, and because we do journalism, this show has been reporting for about a month that JJ Redick is a front runner for the Lakers head coaching job. Do you think JJ is a good fit there? And how do veteran players react to a first-time coach that was a player coming in? Does he have to earn their respect, or does everyone respect him already because a lot of them played with him or know of playing with him?
And his podcast is so good.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. They should have a respect for JJ. His age, he's very young. He's a first-year head coach. He doesn't have any coaching experience at any really level. So he's going to get questioned naturally. But I think in terms of the Lakers, it starts at the top, right? If they see LeBron bought in and respecting him, then everybody will fall in line. So I think that hire wouldn't happen unless LeBron obviously wanted it to happen.
I know. We were told LeBron was out of the interview.
Hands off.
This is a Lakers call.
I'm not saying he's making the final call. I just know before they make the final call, there's no way they don't call the best player in the team, because that happens in every other team it happens. So there's no way it doesn't happen for the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, who's historically known for controlling his team, which has led to his success. So I, can't hate on that one way or the other. But JJ being hired, LeBron James will have a part to play in that. Just he has to. So will AD. And I think JJ will be a fantastic coach. He has a mind for the game. He's a brainiac. Me and him talk basketball all the time. This dude loves the game, watches it at all different levels. But obviously the NBA, what he covers. And, the question that we all have to find out are his X's and O's and his adjustments that he's able to make. managing rotations, managing egos, managing personalities. These are things that are in the fold of a coach that we can only find out until he gets that experience. But I think JJ will be a great coach. Obviously, Hurley was option A for them, but JJ's a guy that is very talented. They compare this guy to like Pat Riley and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see. Who knows?
All right, and then you're the next head coach coming out of the ESPN dormitory.
Boom.
Out of anywhere. Who knows? That'll be something that I.
Do you already have your full pitch deck put together? You already have your full pitch deck together? This is how my team will be run. This is what I'm looking for. This is how I do it. Do you already have that prepared?
Not yet, but I'm already like getting into just like drawing up plays every single day and like, covering offenses, figuring out what I like, what I don't like, what I see works, taking from other coaches. Because that's how you really become a good coach, is learning from other great coaches. But
if you need us, we have ideas.
Yeah. Plenty.
We got if you need new plays, we haven't really ever sat down and
drawn. Well, what the flea flicker?
Not a bad idea. I don't know if you guys are already playing that or running that. You should. You should.
Bring the elevator play back.
Yep, we need that where, two guys stand with their hands like this, like they're an elevator, and then a guy gets in, and then they shuffle down the court.
Yep.
We go right to the penthouse, and then while everybody's distracted by the elevator from the outhouse to the penthouse, somebody slips back door down the stairs.
Boom.
Boom.
Mighty Ducks flying.
I haven't tried that one. Mighty Ducks flying V. What do you know about Mighty Ducks?
What do you know about Mighty Ducks?
Tread
What do
lightly.
you know about Mighty Ducks?
Name three characters.
Tread lightly,
three
brother.
characters from the movie.
Well, how about the Bash Brothers? There's two of them just right there. I mean, don't even get into this.
We can name
God, you
every
fool.
character.
I was going to say.
Gordon
I can name more than you,
Bombay.
Pat.
You want the line?
I can name more than you, Pat.
No.
Okay, what you just want to name the whole roster of a movie? You know what I learned?
would.
You didn't learn anything from that movie at all because you showed up at football practice and quit in 5 minutes.
Boom.
So I know you didn't learn anything
Don't
from
do
Mighty
that.
Ducks.
You would have never
That's
been
because I
able
was
to play for
committed.
Bombay.
You would have never been able to rotate the stick. You would have never been able to rotate the stick.
Triple Deke would have broke your brain, brother.
Who was
That's what you would have done. That's what you would have done.
Suck it, cake eater.
The goalie's the shooter. You would have said, "What's goalie? I don't even know what the sport is."
If we were the Mighty Ducks, you know who I'd be on that team? I'm Charlie Conway.
No, you're not.
Yeah, right.
You're Goldberg.
Well, I'm Hans.
You're Goldberg.
You might be the
You're
cat.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
You got a lot of Guy Germain in you. All right.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Austin.
You're Gold. Okay.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Austin Rivers.
Yeah,
That's a great appearance.
Man,
Really
he
good idea,
took a
Austin.
ricochet there.
Mighty Ducks
He
guy.
walked right into our breadbasket.
Yeah,
did.
what a fool.
God,
He probably didn't even cry when Hans died. I bet he didn't.
guy couldn't sharpen a skate if he had to.
No,
Bingo.
not a
If
chance.
they turn that machine on, he'd be, what is this? You got a spinning, rotating little blade here.
Yeah. Knows nothing about the ketchup trick, making it look like you cut your hand.
None. This guy's got no idea.
Yeah, none.
He hasn't seen any of them.
No.
What's he talking about?
I
Call
don't
him
know.
back. Call him back.
Yeah,
call him
That
back.
was foolish.
He hasn't seen any of them.
He said
Well,
a
and
lot
that's
of
how
dumb
you
stuff.
know, because he said, I'm Charlie Conway. Well, everyone knows who Charlie Conway is, okay? How about a deep cut? How about a third liner? How about that?
Yeah, how about whenever you guys go to the private academy? You know,
Exactly. Eden Hall?
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't go
D3?
shake.
He definitely didn't watch D3.
No, he was actually on the other. Iceland is nice and Greenland is ice. This guy
He probably did
has
have ice
no
cream with the
idea.
enemy,
Joining
though.
us back again, Austin Rivers. Yeah. Hey, you haven't seen any of them. That's what we realized.
Yep.
You haven't seen any of these movies, The Mighty Ducks. Not a single one from your dumbass answer that you gave. That is what we feel.
First off, Charlie Conway, Goldberg, Jesse, Gordon Bombay. First off, I didn't cry when Hans died. It might be the funniest thing someone's ever said.
All right, we appreciate
And you
it.
did it. And
Yeah,
you did
and
it.
you didn't.
And you
Yeah.
did it.
Case closed. Austin Rivers. Thank you, buddy. Jeez Louise, dude. That was embarrassing for him.
Doesn't even know Jesse's last name, so he's not a fan.
Show some respect to Julie the Cat Gaffney.
Thank you.
She was a hell of a goalie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she was.
She had the
Best of
quickest
the biz.
glove around.
The coming cold like that. The warm up.
Like,
Who was the cowboy again?
Dwayne Robertson.
That's the one.
Yeah, hop along Gretzky.
I mean, that's Conor McDavid.
Oh, yeah.
That is Conor McDavid, like, but actually on the ice.
Silky mitts.
I'm tired of what they're saying about Conor McDavid, by the way. Who gives a damn about the goal? He had 5 assists in one of these games in the playoffs. Had 2 assists last night. So like, this guy can't score. He can off of somebody else's stick. That is what he is doing.
And that what was it? It was like 4 minutes left. He basically made the entire play happen, put it under Bob's legs, got incredibly unlucky that it didn't go in, and then Bob made a huge save. He could have had a third assist. I mean, like,
Oh, the pass from behind the net.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, right
see ya.
here. See ya. Behind net, bang, save somehow. What a save by Bob. I mean, he's been standing on his head. And everybody thought the Stu Skinner versus Bobrovsky matchup was going to be the determining one. And
Just got unlucky.
Bob has shown up. Like, that could have been a goal.
Yeah, for sure.
But instead, Bob is able to remain balanced and move and quick. What's that, Ty?
Listen, McDavid's unbelievable. He is. Okay? But I'm from the school of thought that if you're the best ever, or one of the best ever, the best in the league right now, you got to put it in the net. Okay? Assists are great, but my GOAT, Stoner, do you know what he did in the game-clinching Stanley Cup final game last year?
What did he do?
He scored a hat trick. So, like that's the kind of stuff you kind of need to do, at least in my eyes, if you really want to be a legend.
I agree with that. And Conor McDavid is electrifying to watch. His team, if they get swept, it's going to be tough for people from outside hockey to really understand
for sure
what Conor McDavid is.
He is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
He's so fun to watch.
So good at hockey, like the player that could captivate people that aren't hockey fans. You watch this dude play so fast, so quick, so creative, so dazzling, so tough. Like everything about him is like hockey. But now on the biggest stage, he's not able to put it in the net, and they keep putting that stat up. It's like, yeah, but watch everything else he's doing. It's like that's going to be a hard sell for people that aren't watching hockey on a regular basis.
Well, and you mentioned the assist too. Like, there's one thing having an assist where you pass to one guy, a guy shoots, and then
Second assist.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he is setting guys up for layups, and then even the ones where it is a shot, like he is placing the puck in a spot where he knows the goalie has to kick it out to where his guy is going to be. Like, he's almost like Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes combined into one.
Wow.
Like, with the speed.
Whoa.
Congrats to Patrick Mahomes, by the way. Got his third ring already. 28-year-old or whatever the hell it is.
Great.
He already has cemented his legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, a Hall of Famer. He's already rich. I mean, now his contract certainly looks on a per-year basis a lot different than some of these new quarterback contracts, more specifically Trevor Lawrence's for $275 million. 5 years. But nonetheless, the guy is collecting those at a rapid rate. And obviously, Travis Kelce just signed back for another 2 years. McCole Hardman signed back as well. And, it wasn't just the boys that were in Kansas City celebrating last night, having a blast with the family members. It was also one person in Liverpool. Taylor Swift joined McCole Hardman's ladies Instagram Live and was just commenting at like 4 a.m.
Hilarious.
in Liverpool after the show. Wanted to be a part of it all, because she was. Taylor, congrats on your first Super Bowl.
Yeah, unbelievable.
They should have sent a ring to Liverpool.
They better have.
Because of the aura that she brought into the entire thing. But her being this dedicated after a show in Liverpool to the entire thing makes me believe, hey.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking real love.
Yeah, done deal.
Invested. Full on invested.
Oh.
And think about how happy Travis is seemingly happy as hell. Not that he ever isn't, but he's happy as hell. She's at 4 a.m. in a thing. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, we got love.
Yeah.
What if Trav's ring has "Will you marry me" on the inside of it? And the Chiefs set it up that way, and he's going to propose with this Super Bowl ring.
He's at next concert because she did announce that the Eras Tour is coming to an end.
Yep.
December, which means playoff run.
Exactly.
That's all I heard. That's all I heard this morning.
Well,
Was
and the
there's a playoff.
NFL curtailed the Chiefs' schedule so that she could be a lot of the games.
Well, I did see there's one potentially near
the Buffalo one
primetime
for
game.
sure,
Buffalo
yeah.
one everybody's talking about. But whenever you're talking about two greats being this in love,
So in love.
it's good for society.
Gorgeous.
No matter what everybody thinks.
Because love heals all.
Yeah, because there's going to be some haters out there for sure. But if we're hearing more like So High School songs about love and happiness,
man.
that's good for the world.
It is.
Love wins.
Congrats to the Chiefs. Congrats to Taylor. Congrats to Travis. Congrats to everybody. There's a couple dudes on that team that have 2 Super Bowls, and they're like 23 years old.
Yeah.
24 years old.
Yeah, it's good for them.
Dan Marino played forever.
Except for everybody else.
Dan Marino played forever. He was on the Miami Dolphins. Were they the 6th seed last year?
Yeah, it says 7 on the ring, though, unfortunately.
Oh,
no.
Dolphins are getting dunked on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Classic Jostin.
On a
That's
Super
messed
Bowl
up.
ring. Yeah, Mike Florio was the one who pointed it out, but I'm sure it would have been recognized and probably was recognized last night at the party by incredibly drunk dudes as they were opening their own Super Bowl rings. They say that the Miami Dolphins were a 7th seed. They were a 6th seed. They should have put the temperature in which that game was played.
Yeah.
And maybe people would have found it a little bit more impressive. It was like negative 15 or whatever. And they went out and did their thing, obviously go on the road. What a journey, what a run. We're in the middle of a new dynasty. Congratulations, boys. You deserve it all.
Unreal.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's in another country. He's the voice of the...
WWE.
He's in Glasgow, Scotland for Clash at the Castle. He had just hosted a kickoff to the weekend in Scotland. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cole.
Yeah, Cole.
Cole, how you doing, pal?
I'm great. I'm in a car with my driver, Jim.
Hey, baby Jim, they drive on the wrong side of the road there, huh? They drive on the wrong side of the road?
Oh, yeah. We're on the wrong side of the road.
Nice.
We're heading back to Edinburgh after that great kickoff event. Hey, you guys are just talking about football. There is a massive football game for Scotland tonight. Mm-hmm. Scotland and Germany in the Euros.
Yeah.
Massive game for this country. People are going insane everywhere for that game. I know nothing about soccer, but I may actually watch a little bit later on.
As you should, and that kicks off the Euros, which is obviously a massive soccer tournament. Michael Grella will be joining us in the second hour to talk about that and give us what we need to look for. We'll be asking him, hey, why don't you tell a fella, Grella, about what the hell's going on in Europe? The game tonight kicks it off, then there's 3 tomorrow, 3 on Sunday. This matters, right, Gumpy? This thing matters, the Europes?
Yeah, this is massive. Scotland's also a lot better than they've been in the past. Germany not quite as good, so it should be a good game.
They might be able to steal one. Maybe you'll be a part of a Scottish celebration for a big win in the Europes tonight while you're over there. Hey, you when you came out to the kickoff press event over there for Clash at the Castle, you said hundreds and hundreds of people have joined us tonight, and then they showed the crowd. That looked like thousands of people. That was a hell of an event. I did not expect that on this Euros kickoff day, to be honest with you. I thought you guys were going to be fucked with the crowd. You guys had a massive one over there.
And Pat, we talked about this earlier this week. There was some concern with the Euros that, with SmackDown coming from Scotland tonight, how many WWE fans were going to show up with the big match tonight? And they showed up in force. They were loud. It's insane. We have so many Scottish superstars on the card tomorrow at Clash at the Castle that, it's a homecoming for these people, and it was absolutely insane. And we put out the challenge: can they be louder and better than the crowd was in Lyon, France, for Backlash back in May?
Yeah, I forget who. I think it was Cody Rhodes who said to the crowd when you introduced him. He said, "We've been kind of talking about this internally. We're excited to see who's louder, the Scots or the French." And obviously, back in France, it was absurd from beginning to end. They were chanting and singing. If Scotland's able to keep up with that, good on you, lads.
Yeah, come on, lads.
Good on you, lads. I heard you say you're normally a whiskey drinker, but you'll be hammering scotch all weekend for the Scotland people. Have you got drunk over there yet, Cole? And how has your experience been?
No, I haven't, because I had a flight canceled, so I had to come over late in my day. So I'll probably have a beer or two tonight, though, I'm sure. Hey, Clash at the Castle, though, Pat, we wish we were here tomorrow for the event. It's going to be classic. It's on Peacock, of course, 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 o'clock on the West Coast tomorrow. Obviously, Drew McIntyre is battling for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew was inducted into the Scottish Wrestling Hall of Fame just a couple of days ago.
Way to go, Drew!
Psychopath.
Love that.
Whoa.
To do that. And, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere tomorrow night. He's fighting for the world title. And then Piper Niven, who's also from here in Scotland, is fighting for the WWE Women's Championship. And then we've got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn fighting for the tag team titles. They're also from the Glasgow area. So really a hometown feel tomorrow for this event, which I think it's going to be very, very good.
Okay, well, they're kind of trying to mute you, obviously, as you talk about it. The big main event, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, as Scotland gets shots at the title across the card tomorrow in Glasgow, Scotland. How are the vibes between these two, today? How is that? Drew McIntyre's got to be flying high. He's a guy, whether it's you or other, he takes his eye off the ball.
Yeah, he does.
Is he going to be able with Scotland? He's in the Hall of Fame. I know he's seeing the lads. There's probably some pints.
Right.
Is he going to be able to make it to the match 100% focused, you think, Cole, his boots on the ground there?
Well, I asked him that today during the kickoff event, and he said he's going to be focused. He's ready to go. He's got an even playing field tomorrow because Damian Priest's buddies can't help him out in the match.
Oh, yeah, Bart.
So Drew's ready to go. He really believes he's going to win the championship here in Scotland, and what a celebration that will be tomorrow night if that happens at Clash at the Castle. Pat, you and I have talked to Drew a lot over the past number of months. He held the world championship for over 5 minutes at WrestleMania before he lost when Damian Priest cashed in the Money in the Bank contract. So he has a lot to prove tomorrow night. I did ask him the question, what happens if he loses in Scotland? The crowd did not like that question at all.
Neither do we.
Yeah, neither do I. And I'm sure Drew McIntyre wasn't happy that you put it into the WWE universe. But I'm excited to watch along as you crush it, as always. Can't wait to hear you voice over an incredible event in Scotland. And hopefully that place will be louder than France. I don't think it's possible, but I hope it happens.
Hey, I should become your guys' international correspondent. Remember, I did a hit from you guys from Saudi Arabia last month.
And remember, you were held hostage in Bosnia for 8 months too, or 10 months or something like that as well.
Yeah, back in my news day, but I got paid for that. So, is there anything that I can get for maybe being your international?
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cole. Those Europe wrestling events are insane.
If it's like the France one, then it is going to be appointment television.
I mean, that is a tall task to ask.
Yeah.
Because the French fans, for those that didn't watch, they had what was over there? It was
Jay.
Backlash?
Backlash.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was WrestleMania Backlash in France. And from the beginning of SmackDown, which was on Friday, all the way through the end of, they either chanted, sang, or cheered in unison, the entire place. It was like, it was a symphony. It was a symphony their fans were, which is a massive piece of wrestling. If the fans they're a character, a very important character. And if you have a good character from the crowds, it's like it heightens the show completely. That French show was awesome. Then you come back to America, and obviously American crowds that operate a little bit differently. They're up, they're down. There are some moments though where they're going to let people know I didn't pay to see this. This is not what I came here for. But then they're always there at the end, big, big, big. It's like I'll be excited to see how the Scots operate because I guess there's been beers just getting drank over there because of these Europes for like 13 straight hours or something. Bartenders are like trying to tap out.
Yeah.
Bars are trying to tap out saying we're closed because people are just getting absolutely shit-faced for the beginning of the Europes. Look at my man on the boom, down, dead.
Boom, with the bagpipes.
He's marching probably on that booth, just marching in there.
The swinging light.
He is the host of the party too. He's the most important part. Oh shit. I do like that they have the Texas Roadhouse happy birthday lights.
Yep.
Above each one,
Oh,
because those ones can get a little bit wild. But yeah, Europe's going bananas right now because the soccer tournament's and because Clash at the Castle in Scotland. And we'll talk to Michael Grella in the next hour about what we need to look for and if we're, potentially thinking about spreading a little ched on these games. Who should we be looking at to be worth a single fuck and who is not?
Is it at an actual castle?
So it's an arena.
Okay.
But the outside looks like a castle.
Okay, that's cool then.
No, it looks like a spaceship, actually. They had a drone shot on it today. Really sweet-looking arena.
Okay.
I mean, a sweet
A lot of alien news lately.
So much.
I mean, Scotland's got a bunch of
Former
aliens
president's
over there.
playing coy with us, too.
Yeah, he said maybe to Logan Paul. What's that all about? He would know.
This is unclassified files. Like, we already know. I don't understand why we're still
Yeah, but nobody's
debating
blocked them
this.
out yet on stage.
Yeah, we need just to
Agreed.
strut its stuff right out in front of us and say, hello, and then boom, hit yourself with the blur. Try to take a photo of me.
Get it?
Yeah. Nobody's able to do it. That's why. And then maybe right back. I'm back, bitch. That's what we need. We need an alien to do that at some point.
Still haven't heard from that
Are
guy.
we freaked out or pumped if that happens?
Well, so yesterday when they say there are aliens living amongst us, I was like, okay.
That was a Harvard study.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we're good then, because if they are here and they're already, because guess what? If they want, exactly, let's go shake their hands. Because if they wanted to do something, like, guess what? We'd already all be dead.
We assume.
We assume.
We
We
do
assume.
We
Right.
assume. We don't know if they're, we had a Mad Mike, a rocket scientist who built his own rocket to get to space, and that thing went up, and it turned, and it went down faster than it went up, right into Earth, and he's dead.
He is.
Yeah.
There's a chance there's some other doofus, planet that figured it out and landed here.
Right.
Sure.
Like, we just need to find that out.
Exactly.
We need to know where we stand. And we would like to be the sports representatives. I know it's going to be a tough sell, especially with what has happened in the last couple of weeks, but we think we could be the ones that can maybe reach out to them.
Yeah.
Next hour should be great.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
We got PK Subban, Michael Grella, and more chatter. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. We'll see you then.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan. Another farting Dan Orlovsky situation just took place.
Danny Dumps.
What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
Your
We're gonna
butt
play
is
that
talking.
back.
Okay.
I did not fart.
Dan,
do it,
this is 2
Dan.
times now, Dan. This is the Orlovsky thing.
You guys being serious right now, or are you messing with me?
Dan, listen to this clip. This is you just moments ago.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan.
I mean, undeniable.
You guys definitely just freaking idiots.
Swear. Dan, we swear.
You guys
No.
1,000% just made that up.
No, we swear. We swear.
No way.
No one did that, Dan.
Those cartoons. If I were you right now, I'd go grab some dude one.
My wife texted me. She said, "Oh my gosh, McAfee Show, I'm dead." I go, "Babe, I promise you on everything I did not fart."
Who runs your Twitter account?
AB.
I do.
What's this all about? I would like to know, in that situation where your butthole started talking, what did I do?
I'm here to be serious with you, man.
What are you, chucking a glass of milk, eating some fruit over there, get you some coffee, get that butthole a little bit more active?
I haven't ate. I'm eating yogurt. I have 1,000 text messages right now of people going, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, I just wanted to have like a quiet Tuesday.
I don't even know why we're going to have another hour. Maybe run that clip.
Just, on loop.
We have the video. Shams, let's let you judge here.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
I need to hear the context. I want to give our guys...
Oh, Shams, shut up. He said it sounded like a fart.
What did AJ vote?
It's a fart all day long, Kirk. You know that.
Has anybody voted no?
Dan.
I'll be the captain of Team No today.
We need you to do a tie-breaking vote. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
There's no doubt. I mean, I like how he just kept on going right there.
When he was talking, he didn't even break stride as that thing came out. He went and got the buggy, went to the store, grabbed some dude wipes to wipe those ass cheeks, just like I assume you do as well, Cabal.
You have to go dry, wet, dry. Toilet paper, white toilet paper. If not, you're really risking the rest of the day having the swamp ass. You know, Dan Orlovsky, man, he got to accept that, man. He got to wear that with a pride. One thing that really bothers me when people do not take credit for it. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, that was you that farted," I get upset when it wasn't me. I'm like, no, when have I ever not claimed it when it was mine? You should claim it.
What all those airports? People are traveling today, looking up at the ESPN. Dan Orlovsky farts. What's wrong with this guy?
The closed captioning person, whoever it is, they got it. I believe it said inaudible, muffled, and it said Dan farts, exclamation mark. I think a couple.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, June 14th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts right now. Sports are the greatest thing on earth. We're lucky to cover them every single day. We can't thank you enough for watching. I'm not alone. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt and NBA champion at Boston Connor.
I appreciate that very much. It would be two-time, but I mean, there are other pressing issues that I think are not issues, honors that we should probably.
One half of the Hammer Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here, and Tone, I might need to borrow that particular cowboy hat because I'm gonna need a lot of shade. And why am I gonna need a lot of shade?
Got it, brother.
Well, I'm gonna be fishing with Kevin goddamn VanDam.
Yeah! Come on!
The greatest bass fisherman of all time has hung up the rod and the reel for a competition, and he's putting the boat away, but he'll still be fishing. You know he'll still be hog snatching.
Yeah.
He'll be ripping lips all over ponds everywhere. And yesterday we chit-chatted about it, and now we've been invited to go fish with Kevin VanDam. Let me tell you something, KVD. You can count MEIN, pal. I am so pumped about that. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to catch fish.
My God.
I suck at fishing.
Tough.
Suck. I am maybe the worst fisherman to ever fish. Went to a place that said, hey, you're guaranteed to catch a fish here. Everybody else that was fishing in the same exact spot as me caught 6 to 10 fish in a 2.5 hour time limit. I caught 0. I had to go into extra time. Hour 3. Hour 3.5, out in the middle of Lake Minnetonka with Arctic wolves roaming around the cabin until I pulled a fish that was this big out of the goddamn pond. I am the worst. Kevin VanDam might be able to teach us some things, though. And when you're talking about angling, why not go right to the goddamn goat of the fish pooling? I'm so excited for this, Ty. You're definitely going to be coming with me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how bad of a fisherman you may be, okay? Because you're going to be sitting in a boat with Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Serena Williams, Roger Federer, Wayne Gretzky. The list goes on and on. I mean, he is the greatest fisherman of all time. I don't even think he needs a rod or a reel. I think he can go out on a lake and just stare at the water and kind of
puts his hog in the lake.
Tony,
we don't know if KVD put his meat in the water.
All right, good. I'm just saying.
We don't know.
I guarantee you,
probably touch the bottom.
This man.
No, I've heard he needs a reel for that thing too.
Okay, there's a chance. I mean, the way he fishes, it makes sense. That would make sense. I have fisted a fish before. I have gone noodling. Mm-hmm. I've caught a catfish out of the side of a lake hole. That is the most success I've ever had fishing. Other than that, they're smarter than me. Those fish know that what I'm putting in there, that ain't a real one. There's a hook inside of that. Mm-hmm. And hopefully KVD will help me maybe disguise that a little bit more. Likes are camouflage now, too, on X and Twitter. What does that mean?
I mean, you know exactly what that means. I mean, to be completely honest, I know Bill McComas went off on one sector of Twitter, and you know what sector I'm talking about. But be careful, people, okay? Because these likes, they always
This is Ashley Madison.
Yeah.
This is Ashley Madison where, and Elon, I'm sure his coders have figured out that the likes will remain, private and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But with what we know about the internet and how this whole thing goes, some 12-year-old's going to figure out how to hack into this. Oh, yeah. And, people that do go running rampant with their thumbs on hearts, there's going to be a little bit of a story to tell. That Ashley Madison documentary, I guess, is pretty wild. There was a situation back in our hometown, I guess, where somebody thought that somebody was potentially on there, and it turned out just had the same name.
Boy. Yeah.
Somebody got caught in a crossfire, I guess. Yeah, with these likes, though, you just like Snapchat.
Mm-hmm. It will come.
There will be a day of display.
A day of display.
Well said.
People say it's at the pearly gates.
Yeah.
That too.
Elon now.
What's that?
He's the one standing behind the pearly
just has
gates.
your likes sit there with your...
Yeah,
what's this about?
What's going on here?
Thought this meme was funny, did you?
This one is at 2 p.m. too. There's no way you were.
The hell?
This is clear eyed.
Yeah.
You said, yep, I want that to affect my algorithm. Okay, you got it. Did you see Elon said the amount of likes went way up as soon as they ban them? Good luck out there in the streets. X is becoming an interesting place because everybody's having different experiences on it because of their algorithm.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like there's some people that are experiencing X in one particular way. You're talking about that sector.
Uh-huh.
I think there is a lot of people seeing a lot of that. Then there's people that are seeing a lot of people getting their asses beat.
Yep.
And you got to really be careful with that because you could dance. You accidentally watch a video of a train taking out the back half of an Amazon van. All of a sudden, the next 20 minutes on X, they're going to be like, oh, is that right? And you're just getting funneled destruction. And if your eyes accidentally peek at it for longer than a second and a half, this is your new X now. Mm-hmm. So you got to really curate it. For instance, right now, golf is happening. Golf internet is good. Mm-hmm. Golf internet is great. A lot of tips, a lot of swings, a lot of shots, a lot of things that can fix your swing, allegedly. It is literally like the Golf Channel on my algorithm on X right now. It is beautiful. The U.S. Open is taking place. It is day 2. Yep. Obviously, we don't know what the cut line is going to be, but these boys are getting beat up. Is that still the case? Where do we sit as we head into the weekend right now, Tone?
That is still the case. The projected cut line right now is +3.
Jeez Louise. Above par. You're making it into the weekend in a major. That's USGA golf.
Yes, it is. The Scotty's sitting at +5 right now. He's +4 on the day. He is having
that damn haircut.
Yeah, it's 100% the haircut and the beard situation. He actually said to himself today, I believe paraphrasing here, but it was around that's the worst golf shot I've ever seen you hit, is what he said off the tee on one of his.
So Scotty Scheffler, the human, was talking to Scotty Scheffler, the golfer.
Correct. Yeah.
And people thought it was the caddy because there's no way Scotty Scheffler's talking in third person to himself. And it's like, have you ever been on golf course?
Yeah.
You do tell yourself that you're the worst human on earth.
Oh, yeah. Say some real mean stuff.
Not as much as Tyrrell Hatton.
Well,
he's actually playing well. The top 10 is actually loaded with a bunch of names. Tomas Dietrich is your leader right now, tied with Patrick Cantlay at -5. But then you got Dietrich, Bryson, Ludwig Oberg, who came in second at the Masters, Rory, Hideki, Finau, Schauffele, Hatton, Akshay Bhatia rounds out the top 10.
Akshay!
Yeah. So it's a pretty
like
good top
Akshay.
10 right now. The afternoon rounds are starting to go off as we speak, so Cantlay will get out there and all the boys. We'll see what happens.
Scotty needs to figure it out, or Scotty can just have a weekend.
Yeah.
It'd be okay for Scotty to maybe just have a weekend with the family and
Maybe
maybe
he wants
relax.
to be home for his first Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day. I mean, Scotty, you've obviously already done enough. Another major would have been awesome for you. But you know who's up there that people are talking about?
Who's that?
He's an Irishman. A little bit of a shorter one, but he's peacocking all over the course. All he needed was his wife to tell him that she loves him again.
Yeah.
All he needed was to hear that she said, I'm not giving up on us. All he needed was his wife to say, Rory, you're still my guy.
Yep.
And now he's peacocking all over this course. We saw him bury a putt, and he's strutting to go pick that thing up. He's got a new bop. This man's almost back in love with somebody he loves more than anybody on earth. That's a good feeling to have. We thought Spite Rory with Divorce Rory was going to be the one because we had seen that back in 2013 or whatever, it was 2014, when he had a big breakup and then became the number one golfer in the world. Then he became the next one. So we thought, ooh, divorce. This is what we're talking about. He's at a different level now.
Oh, yeah.
He's at a different stage of life now. He's a different man now. He needed to be told he was loved again. He needed to be back in a consistent relationship.
Yep.
He needed to be laying his head next to his wife once again. And now he's playing his best golf. And for that, we're happy for love. We're happy for Rory.
Go get him, Roars.
He'll melt on Sunday. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, he's married again.
Yeah, I know. He'll get close to the finish line.
Was he
and then
just
he'll
happy?
Melt. That'll happen.
Love cures all.
He didn't have to pay millions of dollars because everyone's saying he's a huge cheapskate.
People didn't think he thought about that before filing for a divorce, that he was going to lose a lot of his money. That's kind of just comes with it.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, I mean, that guy's lost like $1 billion twice.
Yeah. Rory's got a lot of, like, when you go as far as people that have a lot of things, Rory's got a lot of money. He's not worried about the cash.
Yeah, and, you know, when you're making the decision to have
Guy
it.
had a video game.
Yeah, and he's awesome in full swing.
He is.
And he was like one of the faces of the PGA for a while. A lot of people started saying, this little sawed-off piece of... You're getting mad at people getting millions and millions of dollars, changing their entire family. Well, it must be nice, Rory. You got a video game and you've won before and everything like that. And then it was being said in those private meetings, Rory was saying, hey, well, shut up and win. You know, like he was saying that to people in there. It's like, Rory kind of a heel in this entire thing. And then the more we learn about him, the more we watch him and we see him back off. And it's like, I'm happy as hell for Rory. This is like a babyface turn again for Rory. If he was able to win this weekend, man.
That'd be awesome.
That would be. I'd be pumped for Rory McIlroy. And I think there was a time there when not a lot of people were saying that. And now he's back. Everything's good, on the up and up. The universe may be going to bless him too. Hard course. Who knows who's going to be picked this weekend to go win this? They say at Pinehurst, especially with the USGA setting up the course, the course picks the winner. The golfers aren't picking the winner.
That's exactly right.
Anyone but Cantlay is what a lot of people are saying.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people are saying that.
I did say that this morning.
Yeah, Ty said that alongside other people.
I agreed with Ty on that one.
Okay, so Foxy also feels that way. I assume we'll run into this guy at some point, and he'll certainly hear us say
That's
that.
okay. Pick up your pace of play, pal. All right, this isn't a local muni on the weekend. We're watching major championship golf, okay?
No, and that is Ty's opinion, and he echoes the sentiments of a lot of people. But this golf course, saw a guy this morning, 7:15. He put it to 2 feet.
Yeah.
2 feet of the hole. You're talking about hitting a perfect shot. That ball's flying in the air. You got tiger vision. Boom, 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 boom. You're like, I did it. Holy hell. I just chipped in for eagle here. And instead, he ends up off the green, off the fringe, in the sand trap on the other side. Because the greens are so fast and so unforgiving. It is a phenomenal thing to watch this weekend, and I can't wait to see people drop 8s on holes, 9s on holes out of nowhere. And they're going to be golfers that we think are very good at golf. And it's a nice little reminder to all of us that golf is impossible, and these guys commit their entire lives to it, and they're putting up 9s on holes. So when you suck, maybe you shouldn't take it as serious.
Yeah, no lead is safe because Schauffele started the day, he was even, and then after 2 he was +2, and then he had 5 birdies, so he went to -3, and then the next hole he doubled to go back to -1. It's going to be a roller coaster. No lead is going to be safe this weekend.
Sunday is going to be awesome too, based on where they put the pin location, because there's a chance that there's going to be like legitimately one spot on the green where you can hit it and like keep it on the green. Like they're going to set it up so that we're going to get a lot of drama.
I heard a lot of people saying there's going to be some ping pong on green.
Yeah.
Ping pong.
A little bit of ping pong.
They can go back and forth, you see.
Fair bit of ping pong.
One side, the other. And he look like accuracy. That's what they need. Shout out to the USGA saying, we're going to make it miserable for every golfer, and you get to come here.
That's right. People are going to love it.
You guys can put 22 under in most courses. Not today.
No.
Above par makes cut. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Congratulations to everybody. The update from the NBA playoffs, because obviously big game tonight, game 4, as the Celtics could sweep the Dallas Mavericks. Allegedly, at the shoot-around, the Boston Celtics have been heard barking. That is literally the tweet from Jay King, by Jay King on X. The Celtics are barking very loudly at shoot-around right now. This is your update from the press room in Dallas.
Oh,
so
man.
It's over.
Joe Mazzulla and the boys are just out there saying, who's the dog?
Yeah.
Are you a dog? They say dogs finish games that are supposed to be finished. Little soft asses, they lose. And then they let the other team have a glimmer of hope. Are we a bunch of dogs or are we a bunch of soft asses? And everybody, Joe Mazzulla's like, I want to hear you barking loud enough that they can hear you in the press room, because the press room's down the hall, around the VOM.
Yep.
Down the hallway right there. Back maybe to arena, but there's at least some sort of concrete wall. And all they hear is Tatum and Brown out there.
I might have to go change my shirt right now.
Or they brought Breaker in to give a team speech.
You're going to go put a dog shirt on?
I actually might run to the locker.
Yeah, because that's what we need. Yeah, we need a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
Jay Tatum. Hey, good knee drive arm swing right there out of Boston Connor. He could have pulled a hamstring there at any given moment. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who was in the NHL for 13 years.
It's backwards.
It's backwards. Your hat's upside down.
There you go.
For the team.
The dogs are barking.
Rabid dogs, baby. Rabid dogs.
Jay King puts that tweet out. He has no idea. That's going to be the reaction. Dude just ran into the locker room. Got a whole new shirt. We got a whole new mindset.
Yeah. Now you guys can say it. I feel so much better now.
Congrats on winning the championship.
Come on, boys.
Or they saw that they wear dogs on ESPN Bet.
Oh,
They are a bunch of dogs.
Could be.
How about Joe Mazzulla saying, they got us as underdogs for the 5th time this entire season after what we just did. We are dogs, but we're not underdogs. We're just dogs.
Rabid dogs.
You think Joe Mazzulla started the barking?
For sure.
Yeah.
He said,
Barking's fine.
Yeah.
I think he maybe said that.
Joining us now, 13-year NHL vet. I assume he's barking alongside because he's been a fan of Jay Tatum. Ladies and gentlemen, PK Subban.
Yeah, PK.
What's up, boys?
Yes.
All right, so you playing that coming in? You said, I'm going to do the old what's up, like the Dudley Boys.
That's how we're feeling right now.
Shout out to the Dudley Boys Hall of Famers. Obviously, did you hear the news about Jay Tatum? He's barking currently at shoot-around for the Boston Celtics. That has to make you feel good that you kind of called this, a few weeks ago. You latched your buggy to the Jay Tatum wagon weeks ago.
What did he have, 31 last game? Was it 31 he dropped?
6 and 6.
Yeah, 31.
Oh, okay. Sorry, folks.
They're barking.
Oh, yeah.
They're barking, PK, too. They're underdogs on ESPN Bet. They think the Mavs are going to win. They're getting 1.5 points somehow. 11 straight playoff dubs. Now, this will obviously pivot into NHL conversation, but the NBA is about to be a sweep, PK, is how everybody feels, especially with the dogs barking. Let's get to the NHL now. Is this going to be a sweep? Florida Panthers goes into Edmonton. Obviously, they're up a lot. Then they make it close. They end up winning. Bob standing on his head. It's like, this is a potential sweep in the NHL. I didn't know that was even possible in the finals of the Stanley Cup.
Well, Jay Tatum and the Celtics better pull me into their championship party, because I think I can get close to that trophy. I ain't going to the Panthers party, but I'll go to the Celtics party. Hopefully they pull me in on that. This will be a sweep. This will definitely be a sweep for me. I think the Florida Panthers put this thing to bed. The game for me that Edmonton had to win was last night. I thought they played well. Like the other games, they were in them, but costly mistakes. Championship teams just don't make that many mistakes. And they didn't make, too many, but they made enough. And when they made them, they're big mistakes. And every time you make a big mistake in the Stanley Cup final, it usually ends up in the back of your net. You can't turn pucks over at the blue line. 9-12 left in the second period. Florida goes ahead, and then they scored 2 other goals in that period. It was a complete meltdown by the Edmonton Oilers defense. And it's not just on their defensive core. Their defensive core wasn't good enough, but it's everything. And Conor McDavid and company, Conor McDavid's playing his ass off right now. I mean, he's got to be getting exhausted. Playing 25, 26 minutes a game. He's up and down the ice, but it's like a bag skate right now. There's no support on the puck. The Florida Panthers look like they've been here before, and they were there last year. They're ready. They're poised. This is their moment. I don't see this thing getting extended. Could it happen? Yes, but I mean, guys, I bet your house that this thing's over tomorrow.
Yeah,
I would.
And obviously the Florida Panthers have been here before, which is why they seemingly are handling the situation so well. But you listen to Chucky talk. He comes on the show. He did an interview after the second period where they just ran it up. They're so in the moment. Like, all we're worried about is right now. All we're worried about is right now. All we're worried about is right now. And I assume they learned that from last year's run. And it sucks that the Edmonton Oilers are going to have to, learn from losing. But I think the Vegas Golden Knights did that. The Tampa Bay Lightning did that. The Panthers are currently doing that. It feels like that is a hockey thing. Why is that? Just because the moments come and go so quickly and you have to be able to handle it all? Or why do you think the experience of being in the finals pays off a year later here for the Panthers, seemingly?
Well, and let's take it into hockey for a second. So the reason why we always say the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win is because of the wear and tear on your body, the emotional and physical grind of a Stanley Cup run. And the Florida Panthers team in the Stanley Cup final last year was absolutely annihilated. I mean, Eric Ekblad had 3 broken bones. Matthew Tkachuk broken sternum. They had, you can go down the list of guys, the injuries that they had. It was just too much. And you look at Edmonton, it's like the same thing. Darnell Nurse, he's got a hernia. Evander Kane can't play. They got different guys banged up. You cannot miss that depth. You can't have that depth of your team injured. It's just going to affect you, not against the best defensive team in the Florida Panthers and a completely healthy team in Florida. They're probably banged up a bit, but they look good. They look healthy. So I think you have to go through that. And anybody that's won a Stanley Cup, you go back to Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, they'll tell you, when they lost to the Islanders in the playoffs, they walked by the locker room. These guys are celebrating, but they can see they got ice bags all over their bodies and ice baths, and that's when they knew what it was going to take to win. And Florida, definitely, you can see they have what it takes to win. They just got to finish the job now. So Edmonton, this might not be their time, but their time might be coming. But, there's a lot of teams in the league right now, Pat. There's a lot of teams in the league that could be in their situation. So it's not guaranteed getting back here. That's what makes this so difficult for them on the verge of getting swept.
Yeah, you never know when the opportunity is never going to come again. My rookie year, we're in the Super Bowl. We were completely undefeated until we chose to lose. And I say we loosely. I was the punter on the team, didn't know how to punt. And then a couple years later, we're almost completely defeated, and obviously full change around. You never know what's going to happen in professional sports. But with McDavid, you'd assume they'd be able to continue to do their thing, which leads to Ty's question, PK.
Yeah, PK, obviously if you watch the games, and you just mentioned it, McDavid's playing his ass off. He's unbelievable. But the narrative I think after they won the first round this year was hey, listen, this is his best opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. If he doesn't get it done this year, is he going to go down like one of these all-time greats who just can't win no matter what, and he's kind of destined to always just be a loser?
Jeez.
Other people's words, not mine. But people are saying it. But do you think, and especially if they get swept, is that conversation going to get really loud? Hey, McDavid's an unbelievable talent, maybe the best in the history of the NHL, but for whatever reason, this guy's just never going to win a Stanley Cup?
Well, it's been 9 years he's played in Edmonton. And let's be honest, he doesn't have any goals in this series or hasn't dominated offensively because of Sergei Bobrovsky. Sergei Bobrovsky, that save he made on McLeod on the goal line last night, he has made all the impossible saves possible. That save last night, Mess and I were looking. We both stood up. We're like, oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. And this guy's unbelievable. I can't explain it. I can't explain the goaltending performance that we're seeing on a nightly basis from Sergei Bobrovsky. It's so good that Sasha Barkov, who should be a shoo-in for the Conn Smythe Trophy, may not win it because Sergei Bobrovsky's just been that good. And without Sergei Bobrovsky, they're not here. Without Sasha Barkov, they're probably not here. So those two guys have been unbelievable. But Sergei Bobrovsky has definitely been the reason of why they are up 3-0 in this series. And by the way, they could have easily lost that game last night.
Yeah, it got close.
Sergei Bobrovsky made 2 or 3 saves that were game-changing saves. No one's going to talk about it because just no one's going to talk about it. But he was that good. He was that good. He's been that good in the series.
Yeah, we love Bob. We think Bob is a phenomenal talent, and how balanced he is all the time is seemingly his secret weapon versus everybody else. You were there last night, obviously, in the building. And I think Steve Levy started the entire show by saying, like, you ever want to feel like you're less important of a human, walk around Edmonton with Mark Messier, and then you said they don't call him Messier, they call him the Messiah here or whatever. I bet you that is fantastic. They love their hockey up there, obviously. That's an insane barn. That second period, pin drop in there, it felt like the entire place was demoralized. And then a lot of people were tweeting me, not just Edmonton, all of Canada is pulling for the Oilers. Is that accurate? And in that second period, did it feel like your entire home country was dead because the Florida Panthers decided to do what they do?
I found myself over the past 48 hours before the game yesterday. I came in and I'm like, oh man, Florida's going to win game 3. And I went to dinner 2 nights in Edmonton in this city. I went shopping. I did a few things. And the one thing I'll tell you, this is one of the most loyal fan bases. The people here in Edmonton are some of the nicest people I've met. And I haven't spent a lot of time in Edmonton. I've come here, played games. We always travel to Western Canada, but very rarely do you have the time to go out and be in the city and go to dinner and do shopping. So to do that, come game time, I'm like, man, I want these fucking guys to win. I want these guys to win this game. I'm like, man, I want to see Edmonton win. And then I get in the building, and listen, Montreal, nothing will ever compare to Montreal for me personally because I was drafted there. But I'm going to tell you, the Edmonton Oilers, that building was remarkable last night. The energy during O Canada, during the anthem, this is an amazing place to play. And, as in the media, sometimes you hear people talk about different cities. I don't want to hear it. Edmonton, this is an amazing place to play. Their fans showed up. But you're right, Pat. At 9-12, when CeCe goes back for the puck and Tarasenko puts that thing in the back of the net, you knew it was trouble. And then 2 more goals came after that, and you could hear a pin drop. But I'll give them credit. Not one fan left that building. Not one fan booed. They waited, and it got to 4-3. It was a close ending, but that fan base stood strong for the team, which I really admire. But Mess, I mean, walking around with him in this town last night, we had a couple barley sandwiches, and to see everybody and how they interact with him. No, it's
barley sandwiches.
Really, really special.
What are barley sandwiches?
A couple barley sandwiches. Heineken's, Rickard Whites are being passed around. Red Stripe. You guys don't know about
Rickard White?
Yeah, I know. A Bumba Club Red Stripe. Get out of it. Yeah, I know.
Well, hold on. Who's drinking Rickard's White? Well, first of all, I'm not a beer guy. I'm a tequila guy. Okay? All day I'm a tequila guy. Either that or Ray and Nephew overproof Jamaican rum, which none of you guys can touch because you guys aren't Jamaican, so you guys don't know about that. But I'm a tequila guy, so
I've watched
they were having the beers, I was having the tequila.
Okay, so you're getting boozed up with Messier. Barley sandwich, plural barley sandwiches. Canada slang, a drink of beer typically taken as a liquid lunch. Right. You Canadians are the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They really are. A little bit of a runaway with the barley sandwiches. We chose not to. Yeah, I had a little bit of a gong show because instead of lunch, we had the barley sandwiches. Oh, my God. You Canadians are the best. I want to let you like that Edmonton environment was so cool to watch. And we turned on to watch you, obviously, at the beginning. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, PK, just a kind of question around the show yesterday you guys put on, which was incredible as always. But did you have to go and buy a desk from IKEA and build it for your pregame and postgame show? Or was that?
How long did it take to build that?
Yeah,
IKEA tables are long time.
Yeah, it takes forever.
I'm going to tell you guys, that's unbelievable.
What the hell is that?
This is what I'm learning about media now because, I would never think that people would see the desk and be like, that is like a preschool desk.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never think that. So to hear after the game, to hear everybody talking about the desk was pretty hilarious. You know what? It was tight quarters in there. I'll be honest. It was tight.
Really?
Yeah, I bet.
It was tight. Like Mess can't help it. He hit me with a few elbows last night on the side there because it was so tight in there. You couldn't move. But, it was nice to be that close to the fans. I will say that. To be that close to the fans was really, really cool. To be that close to the energy was a lot of fun. So we enjoyed it. We didn't have a problem with it. We'll see. I mean, I'm assuming for Game 4 we'll be right back there. So I don't know.
How much space on that? How much space on that little landing area there that you're on? Is that tight?
Oh no, guys, it's tight. It's tight.
It's okay. So that needs
all
to be.
can.
I think that should be said though. Like if we get a drone shot.
Yeah,
we need full shot on. Like, hey, we only have 6 feet across.
That's why I had to build this table.
We didn't plan on having this IKEA thing. We did not plan on this. We're kind of forced. But once again, I think that goes to talk about the environment that they have up there. We don't have enough room for you to have a full spread because we got humans on top of you. And it felt like that. That is literally what it felt like from the very beginning. But boy, that desk was topic of conversation. It certainly was. Did you guys sit in that? Is that where you stayed for the whole game?
Yeah. We stayed there for the whole game and watched the game. Great place to watch the game, though. I'll tell you that. You see everything from there. You're close to the action. It was great. You get to feel the fans. The fans are there. The only thing is the ceiling, right? So you got to remember, the ceiling that's above us, that's why we're sitting. So if you notice, when we're in Florida, we were standing, so it looked much bigger, right? When we're sitting, though, because the ceiling's low, they got to back the camera up, which makes it look so tight. So I don't know. Maybe they'll make some adjustments. I think people are tuning in. Yeah, I was fine with it. I think that I want people to tune in because me, Mess, and Leeds are giving them something to listen to. You know what I mean? Not because, our table's supposed to be big or we got Charles Barkley sitting there. You know what I mean? We're talking hockey, right? So let's go.
Yeah, Miss Kaplan obviously joined you here for a conversation.
The Kaplanator.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Your suit was top notch last night. You knew it too. The way you were sitting in that at the beginning, you felt really because Levy brought up the Messier thing, and I know that's not what you wanted to say first, but you said call him Messiah, and then you were sitting there. Yeah, good suit last night, PK. Good. So you've been on the road here. You did the 8-hour flight from Florida to Edmonton with the team or not with the team?
No, yeah, I was on the charter flight with everybody. That was actually great because, we went with all the rest of the media from the NHL and some of the Canadian media. So a lot of media people that I haven't seen in a long time, got to chop it up with them. It was a great flight, man. It was awesome. I had fun just sitting and talking about old hockey stories with everybody. And yeah, it was great. It was great. We're all in it together. So it wasn't too bad.
We heard stories. We heard stories from. It became a big story actually from the Panthers social media team about their card game, legendary card games that are being played. We got 4 guys sitting down. We got 2 guys up. There's another game. There's a side game. Hockey, big card community.
Oh, big time. Actually, I used to play cards with one of the guys in Florida, Kulikov. We used to sit at the card table, and I'd call his bluff every single time. So I hope he's watching.
You're a player.
I'd expose him at that card table.
What do you guys
what? I'm not, Pat, I'm not a player. I'm not. But Pinball Clemens, CFL football player and coach,
of course,
gave me some advice a long time ago when I was playing.
In his day.
Pinball Clemens, what a beauty. He said to me, we were talking, and he goes, PK, you gotta sit at the card table with the guys. I'm like, dude, I don't play cards. I like to sit at the back, watch my shows. And he's like, no, you're a young guy. If you're a leader on the team, you got to be with the guys and play cards. Like, they got to get to know you. That you got to spend time with them and be around. So I just take out like $5,000 at the start of every year, and I'd say, this is my money, that I'm going to use for cards, and I'd put it there. And, it didn't matter. I won poker for 1 year. I used the money, took the whole guys out for dinner in Columbus, went to this great steakhouse, So the past few years, the end of my career, I started playing cards a little bit more. That's why I won all the money, though, because nobody knew how I played. Yeah, no one could come. No one knew when I was bluffing.
Because you didn't know how to play. Yeah. I mean, you're like the...
Exactly.
Yeah, you're the most difficult person. We were talking about this at TST last week. All the good soccer players were like, if there's a crap guy on the other team, would rather not guard that guy because you have no idea what he doesn't know what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're supposed to do. And that can benefit you in numerous ways. The card can go ahead.
Well, Pat, that's the thing. If we play basketball pickup, you don't know if I'm coming with the Euro step or if I'm coming with the reverse. You don't know what I'm coming with, so
I could probably guess.
You got to be on your toes.
I could probably guess.
You got to be on your toes.
Turnover.
I could probably guess. We talked about there about you got to be at the table or whatever. You know what I mean? In leadership, it's like quarterback's got to show face at things. Like that is literally what you have to do as a leader. That's part of team building. It's a massive piece of it. I don't want to say this generation has lost it because I don't know this entire generation, but I hope that this younger generation understands that. Like, hey, showing up for your team's a big deal, even if it's something you don't want to do. You know the amount of events I had to go to that I did not want to go to because it's like, yep, got you. I would do this because we're a part of a team and we're going to do this.
And Pat, for all my Canadians watching, I grew up in Toronto, like maybe 3 blocks away from Woodbine Racetrack, which is huge horses racing, huge casino. And I never walked into that casino ever. Like my parents didn't want me going. Like my parents never gambled. We never went in there. So gambling was like a big thing for me. But as I've grown older with teams, it's actually what brought us close together. I learned so much about my teammates at that card table. Like if I would have never won Nashville, a big part of the reason why we went to the Stanley Cup final and why I was so close with my teammates was at that card table. James Neal, Mike Ribeiro, Harry Zolnarchuk, Tony Botetto, Roman Yossi, the whole crew. We used to play all the time, and we had a close group of guys. So for sure, sometimes you may not always want to do things, but you got to be an open-minded person too, Pat. You know that on teams. You got to be an open-minded guy.
I'm happy to hear that because obviously the way Kachuk talked about it and everybody else talked about it down there in Florida, it's like, okay, so this is a big team bonding situation. Need that. I love that. NHL's throwback, man.
It's the best.
It really is. It's a throwback. Last question here before we have to let PK Subban go back to his Edmonton activities. Go ahead, Tom.
PK, you brought up that Stanley Cup Finals from 7 years ago, and there's a video going around the internet. I just want you to comment. If you guys could please run that for PK.
Hey, fuck you! Fuck you! Hey, get the fuck out of here, you fucking idiot.
All right, so on ESPN, that is just muted completely. Hopefully Dick caught that. But what's that all about? Why you talking to Sidney Crosby like that? You're lucky we didn't hear that. Yeah. We would have hopped on the ice and smacked you in the mouth.
You know what's crazy about that? And I got a bone to pick with the NHL on that because we were mic'd up. Like they needed my consent to leak that footage. That footage got leaked. That footage got leaked. And I'm like, how did that get leaked? Because they asked me, they're like, hey, you got into it with Crosby on the ice. What did he say? And I'm like, oh, no, he told me my breath stinks. And I told him that I use Listerine. That's crazy. And then they ran with it. And then they exposed the clip. So I was completely exposed. And now it's out there. So it is what it is. But you know what? Good on the NHL. They're like, you know what? That PK's got a big mouth. We're going to expose him. And they leaked it. And I got to appreciate where their head was at.
Anytime you're mic'd up, you got to have a lot of trust in the people that are putting the microphone on. Because they can piece that however they would like. And I'm happy we got to see that.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. And anytime you hear Sidney Crosby go, you fucking idiot.
Unreal.
That's beauty. Hey, we appreciate you, PK. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. PK Subban.
PK.
Love PK.
Yeah, he's a weapon.
He's electrifying.
Truly.
Come in with that. Dudley boys. Obviously, hockey's happening. Basketball's happening this evening. 8:30, I do believe, is tip-off on ABC. Celtics at Mavs. Celtics up 3-0. Tonight, you think there is a chance you guys lose this game for some reason?
Yeah, strictly because of Luka. Like, when this stuff happens to Luka, you just have to look at his, frame of work. Like, he does have, that's a real stat. He averages 35 points a damn game when they're facing elimination, and let alone his assists and rebounds as well, and the fact that Kyrie finally got going in Dallas last game. Like, if there was one game that was very gettable for the Mavs, it does feel like it's tonight. Ideally, Porzingis probably resting again too, because up 3-0, what's the point of pushing him back when you got 2 days of rest coming up with Game 5 possibly being on Monday? But no, still very confident. The blocking, that is a very new and great development as a Celtics fan. I feel good now.
Yeah, the boys aren't just going to take a game game off.
No,
it sounds
exactly.
Like they are still in the dog.
Yeah,
house.
right after the game, the mic'd up of Jalen and Tatum like embracing each other, saying like, "I love you, man," and then, "Hey, one more. We're almost there. We're so close."
Okay, so they're yearning for a title, as is the rest of Boston, to become the all-time leaders in championships in NBA history. It would be 18, I believe.
Yeah, banner 18, baby.
Congratulations. They're going to run out of room.
They might. I mean, they also. It's pretty difficult if you're a new player to pick a number because they've retired so many damn numbers. There aren't many good ones left too. There's a lot of banners up in that building.
Can't wait to watch tonight. Can't wait to watch the Panthers and Oilers tomorrow, I guess, is the day of the game, is what PK just said. U.S. Open all weekend. And also, for those that don't know, which is a majority of people,
Correct. Yeah.
there's a soccer tournament happening.
Whoa.
It's a big one.
MLS.
Now it's nope.
Not the MLS.
Not the MLS.
Okay.
It's not actually in America, which is why stuff to really,
okay.
you know.
That makes more sense.
But America's getting good at soccer. Just tied Brazil, hosting the World Cup. Copa América's coming. So I think America's getting into soccer.
Sweet.
So we need to know about what's happening overseas. What is this one, Guppy? This one's the second most important one behind the World Cup?
Some people say it's the first. There's a big beef between Mbappe and Messi right now, actually.
What's that?
Mbappe said that Euros are harder to win than the World Cup.
Oh,
Messi
Mbappe,
said
what a
no.
moron.
He doesn't know shit.
Well, certainly not against American Messi, but joining us now is American stud. Played in the English Premier League and in the MLS. Also, one of the key contributors to Concava SC. Ladies and gentlemen, from CBS Sports, Michael Grella.
Hey, Grella!
You look super handsome.
Happy to be back with the boys, man. What's going on?
Hey, you look super handsome right now. The lighting is going. The beard is... I mean, you're in a good spot right now, Grella. You should feel great about this. Let's talk. Okay, so the Europes kick off tonight. Scotland in Germany. Now, Germany is minus 400, odds-on favorite by a big margin. Scotland, though, we heard, maybe better than they normally are. How about you tell a fella, Grella, what the hell is going to happen tonight and how important these Europes are in the grand scheme of soccer?
I mean, look, the odds tell you a lot of the story right there, right? Germany is going to dominate them. They got Nagelsmann as their coach. They got Cruz, who's making his final dance, who just won the Champions League with Real Madrid. They got a lot of good pieces, and they're a big-time football nation. And by the way, they're the host nation as well. Against a Scotland side that's got Scott McTominay is really their only guy.
Oh, that's a good name there, Scott.
Hey, Andy Robertson, come on, Grella.
What's Scotty McScotty? What's his name?
Scott McTominay, but it's gonna be a long night for the Scottish today.
Okay, so is the style that Germany plays similar to how our Concava plays, or what is the German style that we should be expecting tonight against Scotland?
Man, I think we started out a little bit like Germany, where we looked like we were doing something positive, and then I think we kind of finished like an old school Italy team that kind of just sat in front of their own goal. Man, we were clearing a lot of balls off the goal line, but no, Germany will look to play possession. They'll look to dominate the game in the attacking transition. Where they're kind of weak is the defensive transition. They haven't been good. They got older players in those areas, but they're missing a center forward. They'll play with Kai Havertz, who's not really a goal scorer, but they have Musiala on one side and Florian Wirtz on the other side, who's really nasty. So it'll be an interesting game, but Germany will dominate it.
I have an absurd amount of Italian friends who obviously they see Italy taking on Albania, and they're favored there. You're incredibly, ridiculously Italian, I would say. Ridiculously Italian.
Yeah.
I would say you would be classified as absurdly Italian in the United States of America. Is that an accurate depiction?
Yeah, it is. It's funny. Like when I go to Italy, they're all like, "Oh, this guy's an American guy," and then when I come to America and I don't know a lot of the American things I probably should know, they're like, "Oh, this guy's Italian." So I'm like somewhere in the middle. I'm like from the.
We want you though. We want you. We like to let you know you are Italian American. Yeah. But Dad, obviously, I think his dad's an Italian chef. Speaks Italian. Doesn't really speak much English. Like from Naples, I believe. So like. Absurdly Italian when you're talking about it. But all my friends that are ridiculously Italian as well from Pittsburgh, they'll see Italy. They'll be interested just because the homeland is battling. Are they going to win this?
They're the defending champions.
Oh, see, there's an Italian right there. Anthony DiGiulio says we're the defending champs. Are they going to go back to back here? Is Italy have a real chance? And Albania has a team. That's good.
Really?
I just learned that.
Tough as nails.
Listen, Albania will be better than people think. They are like the lowest odds to win the tournament, so they're not great. Italy, I don't know, man. They were not good when they won the Euro last time around. They've missed the last two World Cup qualifications. They've switched their formation in the lead up to this thing. I'm not so sure, man. The manager is a really cool guy, Spalletti, who I went to go see last year. He gave me a bottle of his homemade stuff.
Oh,
gave me a couple of bottles of wine.
Moonshine.
Any limoncello?
Was nice enough to have a conversation with us. He's a really cool dude. So we'll see how he does. This is his first competitive game with the national team. I mean, the first big tournament game. So, well, we'll see how it all pans out. But I think they're 7th on the list to win this thing. So it's going to be a long shot for them.
How is the mozzarella? How is his mozzarella? Is that handmade too?
The mozzarella in Napoli is world renowned, bro.
Really?
Any team in the world that goes and plays in Naples leaves with buckets of mozzarella. It's like a known thing.
How about the? Yeah, I don't know about Fazoli's mozzarella.
Come on,
Fazoli's
no.
mozzarella
Can we not
is obviously, and then their little chicken parm nuggets.
Oh, stop it!
Oh
they don't
my
have
God!
those in Napoli.
It is.
Dude, I'm still trying to recover. I'm still trying to recover from the CONCACAF food that we were getting, man. Whatever Italian we were getting down in North Carolina. I'm being serious, man. It's been a week. I'm still not.
That's Fazoli's right there, Grella.
Really? I thought that was
in Rome.
Yeah, I thought that was Grella's.
Yeah, that's not Napoli.
Okay.
No,
that looks heavy, dude. That looks heavy, man.
In the best way.
Looks like slop.
Whoa.
So your dad makes pasta? I assume yes. He makes a lot of pasta.
Yeah, my dad's the best, man. He makes everything, a little bit of everything under the sun, but mostly Italian.
Okay, so how are we using the gabagool that maybe I'm not using it enough? What are we cooking with here?
Dude, believe it or not, that stuff is terrible for you, but it does give you a lot of secret strength. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of salty meat. Yeah. And I've ate it my whole life, dude, and I've never really gone to the gym, and guys bounced off me my whole career for the most part. So I think you got to be careful with it. You need to bring a glass of water if you're having a lot of it, but there's definitely a secret strength to it.
Okay. It's the gabagool. That's what we're doing for TST next year.
There you go.
I need 1,000 pounds of gabagool.
Need more ghoul.
I need to make this happen. All right, the boys have some more questions. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Grella, not about the Euros, but Copa next week starts for the U.S. They're not normally in Copa against Brazil and Argentina and Colombia. They looked like shit against Colombia. They looked decent against Brazil. How do we like their chances going into Copa?
I just saw them, like Italy, they're like 7th to win the whole thing, which actually surprised me when I first saw it. Yeah, it's just like you said, against Colombia, you're like, oh, this was a train wreck. It didn't look good. The scoreline was not good. Greg Berhalter, who I had my last year of my career at Columbus Crew, he's a good guy, but obviously a lot of people on the fence with him, with what he's done and how he's done it. They want to see results faster, and they want to see a style of play better. And then we saw them against Brazil, and they looked really good. For those fans that are neutrals or maybe don't follow soccer, this is a once-in-a-lifetime. It might happen again, but this is the first time it's happening where, the teams from the CONCACAF will play against teams from South America, like Argentina and Brazil, who are the favorites of the tournament. So it'll be really interesting to see how they fare and where they place and what the performances look like. And it's the first time it's ever happening. So definitely tune into it.
Yeah, I'm excited to tune into it. Are you guys doing shows on CBS?
Yeah, we'll be doing shows every Saturday, Sunday, covering whatever the games are in the weekend, but also giving recaps of what's going on in the Copa that starts next week and the Euro that starts today.
That's on CBS Sports Network, the CBS app. Where do we find this?
It'll be CBS Sports Golazo, which you can stream for free on the Paramount app.
Okay, so and you guys will be letting me know who I need to bet on each game.
I got you, no problem.
Okay, all right. Not a guarantee, but at least some thoughts. Connor has some questions for you.
Yeah, obviously, in soccer there are a lot of antics that go on, Grella. But can you do me a favor?
Dramatics, you're saying?
Dramatics, of course. But tell a fellow Grella about will there be any biting this year? I know the Italians have been bit before. I don't know if they have bit as well. Is that something that we might see this year?
We're not. So the biggest biter that we know is Luis Suarez. He's actually playing at Inter Miami right now, so he's in the States, so watch out. But
whoa, he's coming to town near you.
Vampire.
Wait a second.
Playing for us.
Yeah, he's on America.
Oh, he's on America's team.
Yeah, he's on America's team.
Oh, hell yeah.
Suarez.
All right, sweet.
We want it.
So and he'll
We're
be,
biting
if
the
anything,
shit out of everybody.
Yeah, Suarez.
I'm so
Look
excited.
out.
All right, sorry about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, no need to worry. I don't think he's going to be involved. So no biters. That was a one-off thing. Luis Suarez was the guy who was doing it. So He's not in the picture anymore. Plus, now they have video review, so they can review everything. So you don't see crazy stuff like that much anymore.
How's the flopping? You know, because you talk to a football meathead, and they go, I'm not watching soccer. All they do is just flop around on the ground. They cry and flop. We saw a couple during the tournament.
Plenty.
Gumpy and I were actually caught on camera congratulating a guy for still being alive after he acted like he was dead against us in this entire thing. And that happened, I think it was Supra. That might have been the Supra team.
Yeah, we were down 2-0 when it happened.
Yeah, a guy played dead in front of us, and he got a call and we did it. Is there still, was it like a wave? Like basketball had like a wave of it happening and then it kind of settled off. Where are we at with soccer and that? What is the style of soccer kind of happening if we were to tune into some of these games?
Hold on, before I answer that, I'm going to ask you a question first. How'd you feel in your 1 minute cameos? What'd your body feel like? What'd your lungs feel like when you were out there?
Oh, I was dead. I was tired. I was exhausted. I dumped
That's exactly what happens
on my head. Yeah.
See, guys don't know. Like, that's exactly what happens. Is like, yeah, we get kicked. Yeah, it does hurt. But, like, we need a rest. We're playing an hour and a half straight, maybe more sometimes with injury time. So when we go down, that, like, 20, 30 seconds of rolling around is giving us, like, our second, third win. You know what I mean? So
and the refs know, too, right? And the refs understand that is what that's for as well. That's why there's normally a full song and dance and a conversation. That's kind of like an understood part of the game.
Well, the refs are running around, too, so they don't mind the break, right, whenever they can. It's not like you football players that are going on for 30, 40 seconds at a time, 15 seconds at a time or whatever it is.
It's way less
like
than
8,
that.
9 seconds.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, and for me it was 2 or 3 steps. So I mean, I'm at the bottom of that. But we need to view that as a potential, like, hey, this is actually old buddy who's rolling around is taking one for both teams.
Okay,
we need to think about that.
No, for sure. It's something that really annoys people too when they're watching, especially like people that are trying to get into the game. And you tune in and you watch a guy roll around for 30 seconds, there definitely is like a fine line to it where it's kind of distasteful when you're seeing guys like roll around and making like a meal out of it. The other thing I don't like in soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, we call it soccer to make it more clear, is like the handbag fighting. You know what I mean? I think they should just get them in the semicircle and just let them fight. 2 big guys want to fight, or a small guy and a big guy, get them in the semicircle, let them go at it, because there's so much handbags and they're always going like, oh, I'll see you in the tunnel. And then nothing ever happens, you know?
What's handbags? Handbags is just this one, the talking?
Handbags is like, you know, like a little handbag that you would walk around with in real life.
Oh,
like
and they're not really getting into
smacking
it.
purses.
Yeah, there is a lot of like dirty, cheeky shit that's happening. Even against that Jamaican team, I was on for 45 seconds. I thought I was wide open. I'm running right down the middle of the field. Holy shit, I'm gonna score in my first shift. Are you kidding me? This thing's over. I score right now. This is over.
See ya.
This is the whole thing. And then this Jamaican guy literally puts his shoulder right through the middle of my chest into my chin. I'm like, damn, I didn't remember this. Yeah. I didn't remember this from soccer at all. And it's like there is those little shots that are happening all the time, like behind the play, in the middle of the play.
There's a lot of physicalities. Like, you know, we had Big Zat Knight in the back who played 400 Premier League games or whatever it was. Dude, he was pinching guys. I don't know if you knew that. He was marking guys up and he's fucking pinching them, and like, you know what that's like. Like a little fucking pinch in the fat area, like down by your hip.
Yes.
Dude, that hurts, man.
Back of the arm.
I didn't know Zach was doing it. Zach, you
awesome.
dirty dog.
Love Zach.
Yeah, he was 6'7".
House.
6'7".
Bigger than JJ.
Bigger than
JJ. We had a squad, man. We had a squad. We had a bunch of dogs for real. You were not kidding.
Yeah, it was fun. Breck Shea gets into 2 fights.
Mm-hmm. Sick.
I mean,
Slams.
Meat was willing to fight anybody, I think. Same with Huff. He didn't know this about Huff. Huff was willing to fight anybody if he really wanted. Our team was real deal. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Hockey guy.
Other teams are taking it. Go ahead.
Meat was fighting some of our own teammates too, so I'm sure he would have fought the other ones gladly.
We need that.
They figured that out.
Yeah.
That's right.
We figured that out. We had good culture in there at Concave. Obviously, everybody was figuring it out. Speaking of figuring it out, there's a player that had it figured out and then kind of disappeared. I only see him at boxing matches now. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Grilla, I think Portugal, they don't play until Tuesday. I believe Coach Gumpsch thinks that they may win the Euros. But like Pat said, Cristiano Ronaldo kind of just vanished to Saudi Arabia, got a massive bag. Is he long in the tooth now? Is he just done? Not the same guy? Because we see what Messi does in the MLS, and obviously it isn't the same level of competition. But what's the kind of outlook on Cristiano Ronaldo going into the Euros?
Yeah, everything you just said, it was like, yeah, he's 39 years old. He's old. Obviously, he's Ronaldo. But then he just scored like I don't know if it was a hat trick or 2 bangers against Ireland in a friendly, and he's just Ronaldo, man. He only comes around once every 100 years, a player like him. So how much he'll be used, I think, is like a big question for Martinez, their coach. So that'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's going to want to play no matter what. And the last few clubs he's been to, I think it's kind of been a rough ride for him and the teams that he's on, because as he's getting older and a little bit slower and not as effective as he was earlier, he still wants to play. You know what I mean? So that sometimes can be a little disruptive, but we'll see. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. We'll see how many minutes he gets, but he's definitely a game changer.
Oh, is he going to do the 45-second shifts like I was doing down at Concave? I would
cool.
recommend that. What are the rules? Are the rules still 3 subs and everything? Is that still the rules?
No, so you know what happened was COVID changed the rules what seems like forever now, indefinitely, where now you get, I think it's 5 sub, which favors the better teams and the bigger teams, the teams that have more depth, because they can change it around a lot more. It sucks for an analyst like me because I've got to track 5 different guys now going in and out of the game, and sometimes it's easy to forget them, you know? So, but no, now it's moved to 5. And once you get subbed out, you're out. It's not like TSD. So when you're out, you're done for the day.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
They should change that rule, too.
Yeah.
When you guys go get
I would dude, if they change that rule, I'm coming back full time.
With those gold boots?
You love those, huh?
I loved them. I love the Paisan ones. We're ending this particular week on ESPN. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We'll continue on ESPN Plus, YouTube, and I think we've been banned from TikTok as well. Have an incredible weekend. We'll see you Monday. That was a good send-off.
You boys.
No, Paisan. I was talking to the crowd there. We stay.
Oh, okay.
We're still live on.
We're live on. We are live. People are still watching this.
All right, you got it.
Just not on on the linear version, TV version, the airport, restaurant.
Right.
Gym, cafe, Navy base. I just heard naval bases.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're on
Some
it.
locker rooms in LA.
Yeah, a couple locker rooms in LA, we've been told, and in other cities. Maybe too many. Maybe you need to stop listening.
There's a chance.
Because we're saying too much. Like he just said, Cristiano Ronaldo is slow and ugly.
Yeah, what the hell? Way better than Messi still.
That is
weird.
what he just said there. Tone has a question for you about it all.
Yeah, Gorilla, it's a real simple question for us betting folk is who do you think is going to win it all?
The Europes?
Yes, the Europes.
Listen, I couldn't see because it was too zoomed in. I couldn't see the odds sheet that you guys just put up. But for me, it's bizarre that France is not one of the favorites in the tournament. They have all the pieces, all the tools. They have the longest serving coach in the entire tournament. Where are they on that list?
Second.
They're tied. Them in England, 1 and 2.
Okay, so they are the favorites because I've heard England are the favorites a lot. I mean, listen, the reality of England is, and Gumpino was talking about this. Gumpy was saying to me that it's coming home.
Do this.
And I got to tell you, they haven't won anything since 1966. Man.
Coming home for a long time, Grella.
You look at the manager. The manager hasn't won anything.
Oh,
and he's got all
Southgate.
the tools. And then you look at they played in Wembley the last Euro against an Italy side that I thought was not good. And they somehow found with a 1-0 lead to start the game and somehow found a way to bottle it.
Italy's always good. Don't do this. They're always good.
They're good at making spaghetti and mozz. I don't
England's
know about
not a value
Euros.
bet for me. There's no value in the England bet for me. I think it's all France. You want to talk about Germany because they're the host nation. And then the other superpower team that I think is getting a little bit undervalued is Spain.
The Spaniards.
Man, if you watch Spain play, they have the ball the entire time. The only time they get knocked out is in penalty shootouts. So the last 3 competitions, they got knocked out in penalty shootouts. You can't knock them out in regular play. I mean, that's how good they are. So Spain and France for me.
Spain's trying to get the target score time.
Yeah, they are.
We respect that. Plus 750 for the Spaniards. It feels like there's a lot of good money to be had here because very rarely does somebody just come out of nowhere and win this, right? This isn't like one of those super underdog stories, the Europes?
No, it's just like the World Cup. There's a Cinderella that'll get through the knockout stage and maybe make it to a quarterfinal, semifinal. But then the big dogs come and get the job done. It's hard to play against these teams for an hour and a half and get it done. I mean, we saw how hard it was for just to play in 15, 20 minutes. So it's difficult. And the interesting one about Spain is, if you're watching, is they got a 16-year-old. So that's the youngest player that ever will play in this tournament, Yamal, for Spain.
What position?
He's a winger. So he'll be flying, and you'll see he's lightning. He's quick. He can dribble. He can do everything. And so mature beyond his years. But 16 years old, man, that's mind blowing. Normally you hear about an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, but 16 is pretty impressive.
What's his name? Yamal?
Jimmy Yamal.
Yamal, yeah.
That's not his name.
Jamie.
I thought I read. Oh, is it Jamie?
Jamie James. Some people say Jimmy.
Okay.
Double J?
Yeah.
It might be the Spanish version. It's Lamine.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, he's a fucking beast. What team's he on?
He's like a young Pat McAfee, Region 1 ODP.
Hell yeah.
Real fast.
Baby.
Yeah, real fast. What a beast. He's a lot different than me. I can tell he's in shape. That's a little different
Michael
than
Cole.
Guy's 16.
Yeah, come on. What is that, the Olympics?
33.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, what team does he play for in the MLS? He's in the MLS, obviously?
No, we wish, man. We wish, but he's in Barcelona.
Barcelona?
They stink.
Is he with the adult? Is he with the team, Barcelona? He plays for them?
Dude, he was lighting it up in Champions League this year. So, I mean, even I covered a lot of his games, and I was like, he's 16. I don't know. And he lit it up, man. He's a firecracker. He's a really good player. I think with like attacking players, you can get away with putting 16, 17-year-olds and going like go for it. With like defensive positions where you need to be more organized and more experienced, and you'd be able to pinch guys like that night. I think you need older guys. So but still a winger. He's going to be a guy to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait to. Congrats to him. Okay. He's got it figured out, and now. 16 years old, it's possible. So
good to know.
Yeah, it's possible at 16.
We got one of those, too.
Yeah, from Philadelphia Union, right?
Yeah.
Who's the kid from Philadelphia Union? I guess we got the...
Man City.
16 years. Is he 16?
I think he's 14.
14. Is that the case?
Yeah, he's 14. But again, so it'll be interesting to see how he progresses. But at 14, I mean, listen... You give me the best 14-year-old in the world, and I'll come out of retirement at 50 years old and manhandle him. I mean, it's just like 14. But let's be honest, But at 14, we'll see how he progresses. If he gets into the national team, starts playing Copa América, starts playing in the World Cups and stuff like that, then we can have a conversation about him. Until then, I think we just need to cool it and see where he ends up, and obviously hope for the best.
Putting a lot of pressure on him, I guess. Here's the 16-year-old from Spain we just pulled up. We cannot show these.
But they're sweet.
This kid is sick.
Yeah.
We are watching his highlights right now. He is so fast, so cheeky.
Little better than Eddie Speed, or what?
No. You watch your mouth.
I don't know.
Easy.
Hey, Speed.
Yeah.
Speed. DJ Speedo was needed. This kid is filthy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch.
He's equivalent to Speed.
Yeah. Gump has a question for you, Grella.
Yeah, Grella, going back to Spain, they were minus 150 last week to beat Croatia tomorrow. Now they're all the way down to minus 110. How do you see that game playing out?
Yeah, I think Croatia is a team that's got a lot of culture, a lot of experience. I mean, they're a country of 4 million. To think that they've made it so far in so many World Cups is incredible. They have Modric, who plays for Real Madrid, who's nasty, obviously.
Luka.
He's much older now. And that's the issue with Croatia, is that they're just older. They have a midfielder of Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic that are all nasty.
There's no way you got that right. There is no way you got. Yeah, how many people did you
Is that one name?
How good am I getting at this TV stuff, dude? That I nailed those 3 Croatian names with the accent.
I mean, how would we know?
Yeah, we have no idea if you did or not, but we are pumped for you.
Could have said Ovich over and over again.
You kind of did,
and we still would have believed you.
That's amazing. So it's 3 guys there.
Yeah, so those 3 guys are in the midfield. They have Guardiola, who plays in Manchester City as well. But
that's not a real name.
You just made it up.
Yeah, now we're just doing
Dude,
bullshit.
look at the spelling of that one, dude. Look at the spelling of that one. It's not an easy one. But then there's Spain, right? And Spain just has so many pieces and tools, and their identity is, if you don't know, is like they play what's called tiki-taka football, where they just keep the ball the entire time. Like, you can't get it from them. And I've been in games like that. I mean, I was in a game like that last week with you guys. But I've been in games like that where you can't even get close enough to kick guys. That's how good they are with it. And so it's really frustrating. And anyone who comes up against Spain, and if Spain's on their on their day, it's game over. So Spain's definitely the big favorite in that one.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us here on this Feel Good Friday. You're the man. I can't wait to continue to chat with you as we roll into soccer season, because you guys in the soccer world are awesome. Let's just have a tournament that's really important every weekend.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you guys do, right? Isn't that kind of the thing?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's what we do. So, yeah, every single weekend, there's always something going on. There's always some big matches, at least 1 or 2 big ones that are exciting to watch. But this is as good as it gets with the Euro and the Copa América in the same summer. And then you have, obviously, next year, the World Cup, or, whatever that is. So this is, the international competition's as good as it gets.
We're going to win, right? The World Cup? It's coming home. It's coming home.
I got to tell you something. And I know you guys were all over me last week when I was like, no way. I said, I actually didn't say no way. I said they will, but I just don't think it's going to be soon. Watching them against Brazil, they looked really good.
Boom.
And they looked really mature, and so I don't know. And seeing them 7th favorite to win this thing in Copa América, I didn't see them progressing this quickly. This much this quickly. So it'll be good. This will give us a measuring stick this tournament, though.
Man, I hope we do less Colombia games.
Yeah,
more Brazil.
we shouldn't have to play them.
Why can't we be in a group with like just Albania and play them 3 times?
Yeah, what about Georgia? Can we get the Bulldogs?
Yeah,
Did you see there? Plus 50,000 down there at the bar.
Hey, Pat, you know what it's like too, though, Pat. Like hitting those punts and playing in a friendly and playing under pressure.
Okay,
dude. You know what we like to say. You know the Italians like to say under pressure.
Diamonds.
What's that?
Makes Mott's.
This is like, you know what this is? This is.
Oh, that's why you guys are doing that. I didn't know that's what
that's what
that's different.
That's different. You did this to a ref. You did double this to a ref's face, and I was like, that is awesome. I was
Actually,
mad.
I gave him a dose. I gave him a steady dose of both. Actually, one of those referees.
Yeah, they all got it. I think do refs stink in soccer?
They're tough, man. They're a tough breed to get along with. I don't know what it is. I've tried. I started out the night shaking their hand and being really friendly with them, and then it's just tough. I feel for them because I think that they get the short end of the stick a lot of the time. I think they're really good people. I think they try to get it right. But when you're competing and it's hot and things are, simple things are going wrong, it's hard. It's hard to feel for them. So I've probably been more bad than good to referees, but yeah, they're good guys.
Yeah, we just want a little accountability.
Yeah, that's all.
We just want a little accountability. That's all we want. Sue us. Don't actually. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Grella. Thank you, buddy.
Hey,
Grazie.
Thanks for having me. Too much fun.
Yeah, can't wait to see you next time. Grazie. Prego.
Ciao, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
What was that other one we were learning?
Mozzarella?
Might have been mozzarella.
No, I think Tony's talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
We did learn that one. The Pope has a funny way of teaching things.
He does.
Doesn't he?
He does.
He does.
He does have an interesting way of doing stuff. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're reading a book from 5,000 years ago, it's hard to.
Well, he said it once, and they kind of wrapped his knuckles, and then he said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it again.
I'm the Pope."
No, he said public he can't do it. Got it.
Okay.
I'll do it in
We
private.
also forgot to ask him about him not riding a deer.
Oh, yeah, and the tractor?
Oh, yeah.
We'll get him next time. There's a lot of soccer. He said he'll come on. CBS, too. Thanks for letting him come on.
Awesome.
The CBS crew, they invest a lot of money in the soccer coverage over there because they have a lot of the games, like the league games and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Premier League.
Soccer's good because it's in the morning. There's nothing really else on.
Yeah.
It's great.
But that's the problem. You get a bad one.
This tournament's great.
yeah.
Put you right back to sleep.
9, 12, and 3 every day.
Yeah, it's sweet.
That's awesome.
That is great news.
Every day. For the group stage, 9, 12, and 3.
For the next week, right? Yeah.
And then Copas will be at night because obviously they're in our time zone.
Yeah,
but-
Copa's 6 and 9 at night.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Man, soccer all day.
Saving
Let's
the
go.
day.
Yeah.
Good as it
Man,
gets, boys.
I won't
As
miss
good as it
any of
gets.
basketball or NHL now that we got fucking soccer from 9 to 9. Pumped.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is a dream come true, man. Fuck. I was worried for a second there.
That is the one tough thing. Is like I'll watch like an NFL. Like I'll watch Browns and Bengals.
Browns are
and,
good.
and be locked in the whole time. You won't catch me fucking dead watching Albania against anybody.
What?
Like I'll watch Spain. I'll watch France.
Italy?
I'll watch Italy.
They got Italy, Albania tomorrow.
Right, but when Albania plays, Chechnya, guess what? I'd rather take a fucking weed whacker to my shins.
No way.
Than watch that. Absolutely.
You don't know the style of play these guys from Albania are
no,
playing.
you're right. I guess I should look at their tactics a little bit more closely and then decide.
Yeah.
Soccer is a tough sell for some people.
It is, especially after TST.
That's going to be the hardest thing.
Yeah, like
TST is electrifying.
it's so sick.
We saw high pace.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
Shots.
Just and then now we're just going to see guys fucking dribbling in their own end for 40 minutes.
Playing
and then maybe
fucking-
one go. Someone will have a go.
How about a TST? That Newtown team who won last year, they were playing super. They were just sitting with the ball.
They're tiki-tac.
The tiki torch.
They were not tiki-tac, tic-tac, not tiki-torch. They were not like that. They were just sitting and holding. And then the other team
That's
sitting and
worse.
holding. Worse, yeah. Not even passes to celebrate. And they started getting booed. And it is far too often you turn on a game and it's like,
That's all it is.
Even at TST, soccer community's booing these teams. Like, hey, we can't see this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn on some games sometimes, it's like, I can't watch it. I mean, what are we? And then the crowd is so good, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I had the same whatever they have. That
Just got to bet on it.
That's the game.
True. Or getting that young kid from Spain.
We need
I'll watch that son of a bitch any day of the week.
We need him.
Betting on Spain for
He's
sure.
16, so he can still become an American citizen, right?
Correct.
So
once he plays his first cap for Spain, correct me if I'm wrong, Gumpy, he is tied to
Once
them.
you're capped, it's over, brother. That's the way it goes.
that's, I guess.
That's
they're-
why they do it at such a young age now.
Yeah, we talked about this last week with
Yeah.
a bunch of the TST guys because they're like, hey, they'll cap some of these guys at like 17 or whatever, and that's just to make sure that they don't end up going anywhere else, even if they don't know if they're going to be like. They're hoping that the person becomes a guy, but they don't know at the time. But they'll cap them just so they have to stay here with the international rules. That's interesting. We learned a lot about soccer community.
We need to do that with Messi's kid.
Stat.
He's a football star.
Yeah, get him in here. Honestly, get Messi's kid in Copa.
Yes, have him just kick the ball off.
Yeah.
And then we got 5 subs.
Sub him out.
First game.
I saw a video of Messi's kid slinging the pigskin around.
Well, I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out. Yeah.
He can do anything.
That's American
Might be
Messi,
the
baby.
best scat back ever.
Big thank you to today's sponsor, SeatGeek, the best ticket buying platform on planet Earth and
the moon.
Listen to this stat. We got a little stats here from
Stat
SeatGeek.
Oh,
folks.
okay.
Who
Hembo?
have extended another year, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
It's like 7-8 years together. SeatGeek, we appreciate that.
Hell yeah, SeatGeek.
They have over 28 million downloads. Holy shit.
That's a lot.
We
28
need to
million?
up the price. How much? I don't know what
all
we're
of the
charging.
U.S.
Whoa.
28 million. That's a lot of fucking downloads.
Yeah.
Downloads.
That's a lot of
A
downloads.
lot of downloads.
Way to go. Way to go. When we started with SeatGeek, it wasn't like
Definitely
that at all.
wasn't that many.
I'm so happy for them. You know, watching that company survive a world stoppage of live events and then still continue to grow to 28 million downloads. SeatGeek is still the #1 rated ticketing app. Holy hell.
No big deal.
Good quality with a lot of quantity. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so look for the green dots. That means they're good tickets. Red means bad, like, hey, what's happening here? Because we are a secondary ticketing broker here. RAI is scan the internet. You can get a better ticket for a lower price somewhere. Not a lot of those on there, but they will be on there. They will tell you the truth. Green means these are good tickets. These are good. Hey, you should feel good. You'll never get catfish with SeatGeek. They have some sort of technology that just sorts all that shit. That's very awesome. They have tickets for everything, literally everything that's happening. You want to go to a comedy event, concert, any of these NHL, obviously if you're in Edmonton, so far away.
Yeah. There's only one person they need up there.
Who's that?
We know who.
Who?
That lady.
Miss Oil Cans?
They need to get her to the game.
I assume she was at the game. I'm not 100% sure she's a
hadn't seen it
big-time fan. But nonetheless, they have tickets to everything right now. And if you use the ticket the code PROGRAM30, PROGRUM 30, that'll get you $30 off your tickets. There are some restrictions that apply, which we think is if the tickets are worth less than $30.
Correct.
You're not going to get it for free. You're going to just get $30 off your tickets from our friends at SeatGeek. Once again, that's PROGRUM 30. Program 30 for $30 off. It was McAfee 30, and then that got spammed, I guess, into some
into oblivion
internet email thing, and then all of a sudden people it was just getting plugged in.
Everybody.
This is the AI game that they're going to have to battle.
Bingo.
Oh yeah.
Because if you get Orot or whatever the hell his name is on Twitter,
Grok.
There it is, Grok. And you say, hey, can you find me a promo code for this? I assume it could find you.
In a heartbeat.
And then bang, all of a sudden everything's out there. These companies are going to have to start. Oh, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
But for now, Program 30, you don't even have to ask AI. PROGRUM 30 get you $30 off any tickets that you buy. It does not matter if you're a repeat customer or not. Shout to SeatGeek. Shout to you guys. What a week, man.
Hell yeah.
What a week. Tone, big news of the week was Russell Wilson looks so cool.
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. He looks really, really cool. He is adopted. He's our second son of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
He exudes what Pittsburgh is meant to be. And he's the reason why Coach Tomlin got an extension. So, yeah.
Yep, that's a big week for Pittsburgh.
Let's go.
Talks table, Ty Schmidt, big news of the week was?
After seeing Trevor Lawrence's deal and knowing that David Mulugeta is Jordan Love's agent, I think Jordan Love's going to get like over $60 million a year. I'm kind of just... And I think he deserves it. So, I
guess that's what happens now.
Exactly.
That's the market.
Yep.
Congrats to Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Dak Prescott and Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, and whatever other slapdick who starts, is going to come next as well.
No.
He's going to be making the same amount.
Yeah,
No.
Minshew might get broken off next.
Well, there's a chance he goes on. He almost led the Indianapolis Colts team, which had a lot of injuries and then also a lot of conversation around it to the playoffs last year. If he's able to do that with the Raiders, who knows what he'll get in this entire thing. But you're right. And by slapdick, you don't mean like low-level football player.
No.
We're just talking about human that we never expect to get $300 million.
Exactly.
Is potentially going to happen.
Correct.
How about him saying $315 million is what Tatum's up for next year in the NBA? NBA money's crazy, but these quarterback salaries are getting there. Con man, biggest story of the week in your eyes?
I mean, come on. Tom Brady, Coach Belichick. It's not me. It's not you. It was us. I mean, that was a real cool moment.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
What was it? We're talking about the dynasty?
Yeah, the entire thing. I mean, that
What
was
about the
kinda,
dynasty that's maybe starting right now?
Yeah, over the Celtics.
You guys already won.
Which the boss. I mean, look,
You're a champion.
You guys have already won the championship.
I don't know which one you're talking about because we were just talking about the KC dynasty earlier on. The Boston Celtics. Look, you can't be a dynasty if you're only winning one. Sure, if they are NBA,
They have won.
champions,
Congratulations.
If they're only winning one, I mean, if they go on and win 3 of the next 5, absolutely, that'd be incredible. But for me, as far as wrapping up the 7 years of my life with football, that kind of was the culmination of it on Wednesday night.
That's awesome. We're happy for you guys. Hey, how about you give a speech here that we can clip for later because we won't be live tomorrow if the Celtics do win this entire
dude,
thing.
I mean,
because we would like to celebrate
we-
with you. We want a clip, and everything's about timing. You know, we won't be live until Monday again. So that's so far away from now. People will probably forget the Celtics even won by Monday. So
Right.
I think we should do something so we can clip it for later and put it out. Nobody will watch this right now. We won't clip this right now.
All right, look, if you want me to do this, then
Close
I'll
your
do
eyes,
it. And
man.
I'm only going to do it the way Joe Mazzulla would want me to do it. Champions.
Hell yeah. Way to go.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Celtics. Another one. Hang the 18th banner.
We'll see.
That's right.
We'll see. It'd be incredible. It'd be nice. And the Lakers, I mean, it looks like they'll never fucking get another one.
they
So
won't.
it would be cool to have that 18th banner forever.
No, it is. Remember,
then-
it just happened.
And then 19. And then 20. And then 21. I mean, you heard Austin Rivers. I would be, if you're the NBA, there is a chance that we might be entering a new Heatles era. Us not being the Heatles. Other teams having to form a Heatles-like team to compete with the Boston Celtics. That's real.
Everyone's going to be trying to catch up, especially because the Celtics just swept the NBA Finals.
Unbelievable.
Way to go.
There's a chance. I mean, the best bet tonight, without a doubt, is Luka Dončić, 40 points and 6 threes. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Okay, and still, Celtics win.
I know.
There's a huge chance.
There's an update in the odds. ESPN now has
Celtics are the favorite now.
ESPN bet Celtics are now the favorite, so that has flopped since this
Money
morning.
line stayed the same.
Okay, so this is literally just a flip them. Nobody really knows. They're trying to balance the money, balance the books. If one side wins, we can't lose our ass. If another side wins, we can't lose our ass. Trying to figure it out in the middle of it all.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if 89% of the series bets were on the Dallas Mavericks, like they should be in a pretty good spot when it comes to.
They want to be in a good spot on every bet.
Yeah, that's true.
That is how these sports books. So it's
There
not.
could have been a lot of Celtics futures
Yeah.
all season long.
All season. That's a great point.
Yeah.
That was the 89%. Yeah, true. When the series was starting. All year, people have been betting on the Celtics to win the title.
The sports books are like, 89% on the Mavericks. Yeah.
Push that. Everybody bet the Mavericks.
I just got word in my ear that Zito's favorite thing that happened this week was a Dan Orlovsky situation in baseball. Roll the clip, Foxy.
Under 95 miles an hour, we just had 3 strikeouts, and only one hitter, Paul Goldschmidt, lined out
Keep your
at
ears
101
open.
miles an hour.
95 and higher considered hard hits, or barrel balls, I guess you'd say.
So we heard the Orlovsky there.
Yep.
We all heard the Orlovsky there.
He might have been in the booth.
Let's run it back one more time, just in case people didn't know what we were looking for. Somebody shits their pants after the strike is called from Paul Skeens here.
Under 95 miles an hour, we just had 3 strikeouts, and only one hitter, Paul Goldschmidt, lined out at 101 miles an hour.
95 and higher considered hard hits,
and
or barrel balls.
Okay, so obviously the internet is a place. We got another microphone shitting situation.
Yep.
Dan Orlovsky not involved somehow. Everybody's surprised. People actually thought to themselves, is Dan Orlovsky calling Pittsburgh Pirate baseball games now all of a sudden? That could be the case because Dan Orlovsky probably threw the hell out of a good baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Orlovsky was not there, though. Neil Walker former Pittsburgh Pirate and
Legend.
Pittsburgh legend on the call. Obviously, he's a younger lad, so he kept up with all the conversation that was happening on the internet saying these guys got loose buttholes. You know, not the one that... Not that one we're talking about. We're talking about in the booth, and they actually addressed it the next game.
As we said earlier, he doesn't toot his own horn. By the way, folks at John Boy and Awful Announcing, Randy Bauman, our buddy, tuned in the game last night. Sometimes they don't report the truth. All fouled off, right?
But we're happy that everybody's watching and listening.
And listening very closely to what they think they hear.
Very closely.
Yeah.
Happy to say that I'm feeling okay today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Okay.
I was feeling good last night, too, by the way.
Me as well.
I know they're concerned.
Feel good.
Down on strikes.
Yeah,
5 Ks for
why do
Sonny
people
Gray.
do this?
I don't know if you could say he squeaked one by Reynolds, but he strikes him out.
Pretty good.
Boys.
Why?
You farted.
Yeah, just...
Neil looks cool.
Everybody poops.
If Neil said he farted there, he'd still look as cool.
Yeah.
And then play-by-play guy named...
Greg Brown.
Great guy. Great at his job. Very soothing voice.
Mr. Brown.
I think he wasn't appreciative of maybe the phone calls he was getting from shitting into the microphone.
That's stupid. Just say you fucking farted.
Like Dan Orlovsky refused to do. Both times, Dan Orlovsky farted into a mic. Can we call Dan Orlovsky actually and ask him why him and others refuse to just say what is... Run that fart video again. Let's try to figure out it. Because Dan Orlovsky said windshield wipers. It's like, maybe.
Sure.
But also, probably your butt. Let's hear what they could possibly do. Let's think of some things here.
Under 95 miles an hour, we just had 3 strikeouts. And only one hitter, Paul Goldschmidt, lined out at 101 miles an hour.
Paul Skeens is a dog.
95 and higher considered hard hits. Or barrel balls, I guess.
That's two cheeks clapping.
I mean, that's a fart.
That's what happened.
I don't understand.
Just own it.
Right into the mic, too.
Yeah, it might have been another, sneeze, quiet, trying to... And then you bent down your microphone's right.
Sneeze
and then
out
the
the
fart
back.
comes right in there.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear that? You guys didn't. You were
No, we're good, right? Yeah, okay.
The internet's telling me it heard it. Yeah. That wasn't you, was it? No, I sneezed. I didn't fart.
Him and his buddies.
Paul Skeens make people shit their pants while they're watching them throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Paul Skeens football.
Congrats, Paul Skeens.
Congrats, Paul.
People can't control their bowel movements.
Nope.
Because Paul Skeens throwing baseballs. All right, universe ball for tonight's game.
Here we go.
Who's this for?
This one's for Joe. Joe Mazzulla.
Okay.
Boston Celtics. If it falls, sweep. If not, Mavs get a win at home.
I mean, it's a W ball. This is an NBA Finals game.
Run it back.
This is an NBA Finals game.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
You're right.
Also, we don't.
No, we don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, if this ball falls, the Boston Celtics will sweep the Dallas Mavericks.
Here we go.
If it doesn't go in, look out.
Yeah.
3-1. 3-2.
What?
3-3.
What?
Holy shit, Game 7.
Okay.
There's a chance there's no Game 5s for both the NBA and the NHL.
Oh, boy.
Who owns the rights for those?
ESPN?
ESPN does.
Think about that. Think about what they were thinking. Think about how much value Game 7 holds.
Can only imagine.
You have to get at least one, right? I mean, both of these things have to. How about just Game 5, Game 6?
Sure.
Any of these could be closers, obviously. Sweep.
Back-to-back years. Last year was 5 games in both series.
So there hasn't been a sweep in both since 95, I think. If somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I think I read that on the internet. I think there hasn't been a sweep. That's wild if it happens.
Be tough.
Wild. And then it's Jay Tatum and Kachuk, the two middle school friends.
Yep.
If this ball goes in, that's what's about to happen.
Here we go.
You were correct.
Oh, that's for Florida as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So there's the sweep shot.
NHL hasn't had a sweep since 98 in general.
It's not sweepstakes, it's a sweep shot. What'd you say there, Tone?
The NHL by itself hasn't had a sweep since 98.
Jeez.
Here we go.
This could be it.
For the sweeps. Get the brooms out.
All right. I don't know which one it is.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what it is. We got a great weekend of sports.
Yes, we do.
Let's go.
We got basketball,
What?
hockey,
What?
golf,
What?
soccer,
What?
baseball,
What? Yeah.
and hopefully their commentators aren't just shitting all over the game. Oh, we got a lot of lax too.
Of course.
Tons of lax.
When do the Kavanaugh Cannons play?
I think they're 12:30 tomorrow.
On?
I think it's ESPN 2. Good work. That's a fucking cradle.
Have one.
Yeah, let one go here. Let one go here. Rip the twine. South Pole. Twine.
That.
I mean, that's not a regulation ball. Don't worry about
I think it went through the net.
Bro, I threw it so hard.
There's another one over here.
I don't know if I want to throw this thing.
What the fuck?
I agree with what you're saying.
Throw the basketball. Throw the basketball.
You want me to calibrate this one?
There we go. There we go. There you go. Good scoop. Good scoop. Hey, good GB. Good GB.
Got a baby.
Good cradle. Good cradle. Get legs.
Wait a minute.
Is GB ground ball?
Yeah, Jeeves. Good Jeeves.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Oh, shit.
Get right.
Almost went in.
Get going. Oh, yeah. That's the one. That's more like a lacrosse ball.
Fuck.
That would have gone in if there was no backboard.
Yeah, people forget.
It's true.
People forget.
It's true.
All right, that's how we're going to end the weekend. Or the week, I mean. To launch the weekend. Hope you guys have a phenomenal one. Let's watch these sports. Let's enjoy these sports.
Amen.
Let's enjoy these moments. Let's enjoy this life.
Absolutely.
Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, so you got to enjoy the hell out of today. If you have any negatives in your life, go ahead and cut them out. Don't be scared to remove an anchor. You're allowed to, okay? You're allowed to remove people from your life that drain you and bring you down. Cut out the bullshits. Let's enjoy the hell out of this thing. We're in it together. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.